Have yourself
a mean boy's little Christmas.
Do. Tom is fat and gay. It rhymes with everything.
Holy shit, my mom is on the fucking show today. And now
what did you think you were contributing there, Tom?
Well,
Instrumental.
Yeah, well, basically what happened is we did a bad Christmas Carol improv, and then R2-D2 got shot by Jawas.
Yeah, I was about to say, is there some sort of sentient car on fire driving away to go deal with that situation?
I mean, if there's a better metaphor for what Tom is, I can't think of what it is.
A sentient car?
I want, because you do that sometimes, and then I just want you to do ad-libs on rap songs where it's just like, yeah, we get in this paper, and Tom goes, ah! And he's like, I was doing Sheryl Crow. You couldn't tell? No one has ever been able to tell what you were trying to do when you make those sounds with your fucking mouth.
It's that horn that goes real high pitched out of nowhere.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah,
classic that horn,
like the mob, like from that Family Guy cutaway, the mobster trumpet kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah,
you know that one.
I don't know that one.
Anyway,
this would have been a great time to go. Oh yeah, and
and just. You can also just not make that fucking noise ever again.
What a riveting start to the most anticipated episode of Mean Boys history.
Well, that's what we do. You know, we give you a very authentic experience on the show, which is something I'm proud of.
We set the bar low.
Which also means that sometimes it's very bad.
I think we're all just exhausted.
We are, but we did it. We went up to Fresno, California, because you guys all gave enough of a shit to leave us all those iTunes reviews. And we interviewed Keith's mom. We'll do a little bit of housekeeping first. We'll talk about the show, and then we'll do a little bit of a Christmas talk. So it'll be a little bit of a longer intro. But we're here to keep you company while you're wrapping your presents and avoiding your family.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't spend all that time jacking off in your childhood bed.
Yeah, there's only so much cum you can make in a place that makes you feel empty.
Yeah, you can.
At a certain point, you got to go listen to something while you pretend to know how to make a pie.
You only get so much mileage out of your little sister's old Spice Girls posters before you got to put on a podcast and have a Gatorade.
Yeah, just crimp a crust and listen to some slurs. That's what the Mean Boys are here for.
So this is our 400 iTunes review goal. Tom, what's our 500 iTunes review goal?
For 500 iTunes reviews, I will have one tasing at a live show.
Yeah. Someone already sent us a pink taser to tase Tom with.
Yeah, I have
also some pink pepper spray, which I don't know what we can. Maybe if we get to 550, he might be flexible in that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's the next goal. I want to say when you announced that, it was during Snark Week. I believe we had 430 iTunes reviews, and already, after 7 full episodes in 2 weeks, we're at 432. So, I mean, people really can't wait.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. It's like, that was like a great movie. You're like, I'm going to raise the stakes. It'll be all fun and exciting.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like, oh, he's going to be fine. Like a taser. Like that's going to do nothing. That's like the spanking Rhino from Spider-Man.
It really makes you think when the idea of you being electrocuted publicly is less titillating to people than just me having an hour-long conversation with my mother.
Or me eating a basic food.
Yeah.
Oh, we had a lot of conversation. We're like, well, I'm going to unearth a lot of trauma. Tom's going to maybe have a heart attack. And Connor had to eat a broth he didn't care for.
I still have nightmares.
We've all suffered tremendously.
A cheddar broccoli chowder is moved the needle more than me being electrocuted on stage. And I don't know what you want from me.
So selfishly, leave us a review because I just want to see Tom get tased.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't really, but I mean, I want it to be over with.
I very much want to see it.
I do. It's like I do in the same way. Like you want to see a guy get eaten by the tiger at the Siegfried and Roy show, but I don't really want to be there when it happens.
Well,
that's horrible.
He's either going to go down like a hilarious bag of potatoes, or he's going to get like all like bad episode of Cops, meth strong, and just start fighting people.
Or I become infamous from that video game Infamous, where he has electrical powers.
Or it becomes like a Crank 2 type situation where you have to keep electrocuting yourself to stay alive. So Tom's like, all right, little nightcap before bed, and he's just like licking 9 volts over and over again. Or you find out that it makes you really hard, and then you got that going on.
Oh, then I have to get tased the fuck?
Oh, that would rule
that would
hard,
be
dude.
Fucking great if that was the case. Anyway, this review comes to us from a series of fucking squiggly keyboard letters. These boys aren't mean at all. 5 stars. Fantastic, he writes. Wow, thank you. You know what? You don't have to get creative with them because a lot of times the creative ones really fall flat. So
yeah, well, it's like I'm going to write a 9-paragraph. I'm pretending to be car knockery. Like, just write that the show's good.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do.
We appreciate your effort. Go write all the car knock fan fiction you want.
I like making fun of the bad ones, but also if sometimes it's just like, hey, yeah, I listen to it at work. People are like, oh, okay, this might actually be something I could enjoy.
If you want to do a big goofy one, do it for you, but don't do it for us.
Yeah. Because we won't be amused. But
no,
that came out bad.
By the time we record this part of the show, we're already pretty tired of being happy.
Oh, for sure.
We're supposed to be happy on this?
Yeah.
No, we're happy. I'm in a good mood, man.
I'm goofing.
I was too.
Go fuck with us over on Patreon. Man, shot way up during Snark Week. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank
for all
you
the
to the
support.
new patrons.
And the bonus episodes have been a lot better. We're going to have guests on those just about every week now, so they'll be fun. We had so many fucking great ones. We put on another one with Nicole Becannon just to keep you guys company during the break after Snark Week. But those are all up there at this point. There are 74. Bonus episodes. So yeah, you got a whole bunch more Mean Boys if you want it for only $5 a month, and $10 a month you get a little goodie in the mail. And if you get in there before the 31st when the cards charge, you're getting the goddamn Mark Malloy fridge magnet, which we already have in hand. Those are in my room right now.
There's one on our fridge as we speak, and it looks fucking rad.
It looks dope. They're ready to go out, so those will be getting sent out fucking ASAP. Oh yeah, and also we became successful fashion designers over the course of a couple weeks.
Right, you guys got so stoked on the meanies.
Yeah, man. Thanks for getting. I'm glad you guys dug those. Those are on sale on the merch page of our website. That'll be linked in the show notes. They're $20 with shipping included until Christmas, and after that it'll be $23.50. So if you want to get the bargain of a century,
if you really need to save $3.50, but somehow still have an expendable $20 to give to us,
which sounds like a kind of financial sliver that our listening audience might occupy. To be honest with you,
send us a money order from the lonely Venn diagram where you live.
Yeah, as a podcast whose early corporate bonding retreats, we're mostly looking through the outside couch for quarters to buy a pack of cigarettes to share. Then you might just have the 20.
And if you didn't know the meanies were for sale because they went on sale about a week ago, you should follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, all that shit, so you can be the first to buy our dumb hats.
God,
all right?
that was a remarkable.
I was about to say, Tom, that was buttery silk with that fucking transition.
You really lubed that fucker up and just slipped it right in.
Yeah. That was almost like I was for the first time working with a third professional broadcaster.
Tom sent an email the other day, like handling some business stuff that we're working with, and me and Connor both at the same time were like, "What a shockingly professional email!"
It was perfect. It was like
being surprised.
I did feel bad too, but I was just like, I couldn't have worded this any better, And I suck at business emails.
Yeah, same. I would have written one that sounded like way shittier, and then you were just like, "What do we put on my talking to Starburns monocle?"
Yeah.
You guys get that I enjoy being asinine on the show, right?
Yeah. I know you're not dumb, but like, fucking.
I know you're not dumb, but also. But like you jumping through the hoops of society, anytime I see you do that, I'm like, oh, wow, it's striking.
Yeah,
you usually don't.
I've also read anything you've ever texted me or tweeted. So, like, seeing that you capitalized things correctly and used all the letters you meant to was, like, surprising.
Listeners, I just want you guys to know that this is the excitement over me sending an email correctly.
That's a fair point.
I mean, you don't really...
thank you guys.
You got to understand how funny it was for you to text me a series of Orgle-Borgle, my R key on my iPhone 2 doesn't work and hasn't for 6 years. And then I check my email inbox, and all of a sudden it's Johnny Q fucking presentable.
Yeah.
That was like we did a stand-up show, and Tom was there, and a Mean Boys guy came out, and we were talking to him, and he's like, man, it was weird watching you do stand-up, and like, this guy's really smart when people don't interrupt him every 10 seconds.
It's a very good point. Let the record show, Tom is a very smart man.
Yes, I do try to make that a clear on top of also having the cake of calling you stupid all the time.
Yeah.
So
that's your Christmas present. We're being nice to you for 30 seconds.
You guys didn't wrap it.
Shut up, idiot.
Tom is actually kind of smart.
Yeah. Well, anyway, back to the Gaslight podcast.
Oh, yeah. I still, gaslight is one of those words where people explain it to me. I still don't really understand what it means.
Okay, it's like when I just basically try and convince you that what really happened to you didn't happen to you.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Like
you kind of
like what I did when I tried out my Ouija board, and I actually felt it kind of move with a girl, and I was like, oh, it was a magnet. Like,
it's like you basically convince somebody they're crazy for thinking that a thing went down the way they think it went down.
Gotcha.
Right,
okay.
Yeah, I'd give
it would be like if we started all of a sudden telling Tom, we've never called you stupid before, and like he was just like, no, but you do. A lot of evidence of I don't know what you're talking about, man. We've always just talked about how intelligent and capable of sending emails you are.
Yeah, what a stupid fucking idea that I've ever called you stupid. Why the fuck would your dumb ass think that?
Yeah, speaking of stupid, we also go to our YouTube page and fucking subscribe to that. We got a brand new video from
that was less good than the social media segue.
No, that was good. Hey, I like it. I liked it, dude. I like Segue Tom.
Yeah, we have a new clip from behind the Patreon wall that we fucking put up on YouTube. That is one of our all time favorite moments, the Bruce Springsteen debacle. You check that out. Subscribe to our YouTube.
That was from when we were out in New York. That was one of our greatest, just everything kind of came together podcasting moments.
Yeah.
And Tom did a really great fucking...
It's really funny.
He made like an old school YouTube slideshow like you used to see.
Yeah,
I
like those. Yeah,
Me
I don't
too.
know why people stopped doing them.
I don't either. And I like that it's like the new ones, there's everything has like it's all cropped well and there's like little zooms and shit at it. And it's like, it doesn't need, it just, you got to cut to the first Google image result. And that's kind of part of the fun of it.
Part of the charm of it is that it looks a little rough around the edges and tumbly.
Yeah.
I think you did a good job with it.
No, I fucking I dug that a lot. So yeah, the fucking the meanies are out there, all that's going on, and we are going. I know we had to postpone our tour to make a Netflix show, but next year we're going to be going out in the spring, probably March or April. We haven't figured it out exactly, so
probably April.
Yeah, probably April. So if you're out there in the world and you want to come see the Mean Boys in your town, go fill out that tour sheet. It's still in the fucking show notes. It's still on our Twitter page. It's on the banner of the website. It's all over the place. So just if you haven't done that yet, and you're like, man, I wish they'd come back to Pittsburgh. I didn't see them the first time. I didn't even fucking I was listening when they did. Just go and fill it out, and we'll know where the people are, and we'll come meet you, which we fucking love doing.
Yeah,
and
it really is our favorite thing in the fucking world. It's made this year my favorite year.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. I do actually. This will segue into I think that's all the housekeeping, and then this will bring us into the episode and the other thing I wanted to talk about. But yeah, fucking good. Worst year for Earth. Great for me.
Yeah, I keep feeling back, and everyone's like, "Fuck 2018." I'm like, this is professionally, personally, relationship-wise, the best year I've ever had.
Oh, dude, yeah. All I did was like fuck and make people laugh and have a podcast that people liked.
I fell in love, and then
it was
traveled
awesome.
around the country with my two best friends.
Yeah.
It was
Mean Boys was phenomenal. Everything else in my life was on fire, but Mean Boys fucking really kept me sane.
Yeah, man.
Today. So I've had a different year than that, but this part of my life has been so much fun. It was so great fucking touring and meeting everybody.
Totally. And it's like, I don't know, it's lame to say, but it's because of you guys. And you guys, like, we get the messages, and it really means a lot when you're like, man, I fucking hate being alive, but I do like Tuesdays because you guys do the thing you do.
And even like you
and
that's
I have that with other things, and the fact that I can be a part of that for somebody else is, again, the greatest honor of my entire life. And I'm Ventura's funniest person in 2016, so I mean...
No, and like you guys who listen, you really, like, you created a really cool moment where, like, when we were sitting down to record this episode with my mom, who, by the way, I explained the concept of a podcast about 9 times to her and what we were going to be doing, and we sit down with the microphones, and I don't know if we recorded this.
I can't be sure that she doesn't think she was deposed. You know what I mean?
Her first sentence was, "Is this the radio?" I'm like, no, it's on the internet. She's like, right now? But she has no idea. But when I went through the Reddit thread and just showed her how many of you guys were, like, fans of her and fascinated by her, it was the first time she's ever, like, registered verbally and, like, mentally, I think, that, like, oh, people actually give a shit about what my weird fat son yells about.
Yeah, it's like that was cool for me to kind of see her be like, oh, you've fucking done something with your life. Shockingly.
She was genuinely more proud and impressed that, like, I sold any of you mongoloids a hat than the fact that I was on Comedy Central.
Oh, yeah.
I say that, like, shittily, but also, like, sincerely. And, like, I appreciate every one of you that has made that a thing I get to do with my life.
No, dude, and I mean, like, my parents were like, look, we want you to do what makes you happy, but I mean, we worry that you're not going to be able to take care of yourself. And, like, the fact that, we get to, go talk for an hour, and that keeps you guys company, and we get $5 a month, and it adds up. It's like, oh, I am going to be able to have health insurance next year.
Yeah, we don't take great care of ourselves, but we're alive.
Yeah, no, I mean, I live at a college dorm room level of comfort, but it's like, dude, it's fucking. I didn't have to sell out.
Yeah,
so
you don't
thanks
put
for
on a name tag. It rules.
Yeah, man. I mean, I really just didn't want to have some sort of evil job that fucking where I work for some big faceless company that enslaves people that make cocoa beans for fucking promotional the fucking Whataballs with some sort of minion figurine inside of them, and I don't have to do that. And like I'm fucking lucky, and it's because of you guys. So fucking thank you so much. And yeah, sitting down with Keith's mom climactically.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a few things, a little bricklaying.
Yeah,
we got to do.
Here's the deal: we fuck around on this show a lot, and we say a lot of things that could be construed as racist. We always say them from a place of we're fucking around, we're joking. My mom says some stuff that is a little less in jest on this episode.
Yeah, because I mean, when we talk about stuff, it's like, and like I don't know, I do feel conflicted about it, and it's something that I'm trying to be better about. But it's like it always comes from it is never a place of. I don't like Mexicans. It's always I enjoy this convenient pun that happens to
100%,
and which is probably just lazy joke writing, and I shouldn't do it. But
and then you could have a million conversations about whether that's cool or problematic or whatever. But I know we do it, and it's very important. I mean, just because my mom. You guys have heard the stories about my mom. A lot of it is fun, meth shenanigans and falling down hills drunk or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
She's not a character. She's real, and we find out very quickly.
She's a real person, and you hear a good chunk of real hate speech-ass opinions during a portion of this.
The following is 80 minutes of a real-life conversation with a racist woman that Keith is related to.
I mean, that's the reality of it. And, here's the thing. My mom, I think, at her heart is a good person. I don't agree with the things she said. Before anybody gets up my dick, I didn't fight her on these things, not because I agree with them, but because ultimately that's not the show I feel like any of you wanted to hear.
Yeah.
It's not the show I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And
I kind of had the same thought where I was like hearing her talk about this shit, and I was like, well, yeah, we fucking stole the place you're living was Mexico.
Yeah.
There's a
she
million
lives in Fresno. The place she's living still is pretty much Mexico.
Yeah. I mean, there's a million things like that I wanted to bring up, and I was just like, and it was like, it's like you guys have had such a fucking rocky relationship. It's like if you gotta let it go to just like have your mom in your life, and this is this is for better or for worse, this is a mom you got.
Exactly, and I do love my mom, and this is you see a lot of people talking about, especially in like the Trump era, of like, okay, are you morally obligated to like fight your problematic relatives or your racist relatives? And for me, it's like I'm not gonna convince her, and I think. Look at it this way. I got her to stop, saying faggots are going to go to hell so much by just being, a good son, and then.
Now, if you could just be a little more Mexican.
Oh, you don't think I'm going to start growing out a real shitty little mustache?
Oh, yeah.
Just like, orale, you can't prove it.
And you're like, wow, it turns out salt does go well with desserts.
Yeah, but it's a rare. We rarely disclaimer stuff on this show, but it was It set up
pretty aggressive. That's, I guess, what
it is. It set up enough good riffs later that we couldn't cut it out.
Well, and it's also like, I guess you just wanted to sort of have it be honest. Like, I don't know, like you guys wanted a raw interview with Keith's mother. It's like, she's a racist lady in Fresno.
Yeah, my one thing I would genuinely ask you guys, whether if you're upset about it, by all means, complain to us, complain to me. Please don't track my mom down on social media and give her shit. It's just going to bum her out and make her life the harder. Then you're going to hear from this. She doesn't need any more fucking problems.
Yeah, like let's.
Yeah, that's all I ask.
Please
keep
our families out of it.
But if you're upset about any of it, we apologize. I think Mexico is A-okay.
Yeah, I love Mexico and Mexicans.
Yeah.
Mexicai?
And honestly, us fighting with her, it would have just turned into every conversation you've ever had with that person. It would have been nothing. Yeah. And it gets really entertaining and really interesting.
Exactly. And here's
really,
the thing. My last word on it. I don't know exactly what progress looks like, but I know what it doesn't look like is 3 white dudes yelling at a woman in an RV. Even if we're right, we automatically become wrong at that point.
Yeah, for sure. So, I don't know. You get, again, my whole thing with this shit is like, look, if I'm just sincere and earnest, then I think I'm pretty lucky, and we're all pretty lucky to have a good group of listeners like this. Like, whatever the thrust of where your heart is at will be apparent, and you'll understand. Like, I saw people talking, like we had some Patreon bonus episode, and I was talking to Robin, and I really do try to keep my pronoun game pretty tight, and I'm pretty good about it, but I sort of was recalling a memory. I was like, I was thinking about that back when I knew him, when he was a guy, and that was good, and I just fucked it all, and I missed a few, and they're like, oh, that was disappointing. I'm like, hey, I get it. I goofed. Like, I'm not going to go edit it out and like, let me take that from 38:29 and put it in 38:14. Like,
and it's tricky too because you lose context sometimes because people who listen to the show, like we love you guys, but you only get the chunk of relationships that we've recorded and given to you versus I have 30 years of context with my mother. We have, almost a decade of context with Robin.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's cool to do those things, but it's like we understand those things, so Robin's not going to jump on those because she gets it's weird that we knew her as Robert and now we know her as Robin.
Well, yeah, and you just kind of, you fumble or you in the moment try to reach for something funny to say, and that's the only one you got, and you just really want to get the laugh or whatever it is. So
this is our long way of saying this episode was really worth all those iTunes reviews.
Yeah.
You're getting what you paid for, everybody.
I also did want to disclaim we did not tell her the dog story.
Yeah,
because,
sorry.
If
it makes you feel any better, there's a whole new sexual escapade that comes up in this one that I did not see coming.
Yeah, no, there's.
I won't spoil it, but the dog.
Oh,
story,
I thought that was a Nazi joke.
What's up? Oh, yeah. No, that's the I'm not going to ruin it, but yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh well, yeah, you do. We just talked about it. Anyway, the dog story. Dog story doesn't come up. But you're going to get plenty of good stuff. I will.
Because it's like, let's not drive all the way up to Fresno and get in a fight and be disowned by the woman that you've.
Yeah, can I tell you the story that she didn't get a chance to tell on the show though?
Oh, please, yeah.
She has 2 giant dogs, and last time I was over there, they were just aggressively fucking each other. And I was talking to her before you guys showed up, and she's like, "Yeah, me and Glenn, that's her husband. We went over and we bought overalls, and then we bought a kit, and then we looked up a YouTube video on how to get your dog pregnant because, I guess the one dog is too old and can't find her pussy. So my mom and her husband harvested one dog's cum with a turkey baster and then thwopped it up into the other dog.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they had to wear overalls. Apparently, that's how much cum was involved.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
And she wants to give me one of the puppies.
Yeah, so there you go. Tom's going to get an abomination dog.
Yeah,
What the process you're describing. I spent all day driving around Southern California trying to find a sock slider to help my old fucking grandparents put socks on, and they basically got a sock slider for a dog dick. Hey, here's your
slider.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, one last thing. Thank you. Nicole Becannon is also on this episode.
Oh,
yeah.
And
sorry, I feel bad. I love Nicole.
We all do. It was a overwhelming. In a good way podcast, and she was on it. She's great. So yeah,
I was thinking so hard about just remember to say that you like Mexicans, so that people don't hear the following interview and become perturbed. Yeah, this is almost like we're doing a Chris Hardwick after show, but before the show.
Yeah, talking mom.
Yeah,
talking mom. Yeah, so that's Keith's mom shit. I did want to say because I've been getting a lot of messages from you guys, and we do have I would say we have one of the more depressed fan bases in podcasting. One of the most
what a terrible honor.
Yeah, one of the most mentally unwell listenerships.
Yeah,
which I take great pride in. Because you got to be a good podcast if you're getting through to the sad people.
Look at it this way: we get a lot.
I get sad. You think fucking Pod Save America is going to get me out of the hole? Go fuck yourself.
We get a lot of emails and messages from people who are like, "Man, I was at the end of my rope, and Mean Boys helped me hold on." I genuinely appreciate those more than anything in the world. But you know what message we never get? Man, everything was going great, and then Mean Boys made it a little better. No one really loves this show until they love nothing else.
Yeah. It's never like I was at the beach, I was with my girlfriend and our beautiful dog, having a great time in the ride home. I thought, cherry on top, the Fudge Lord. It's always like, well, I was huffing paint, and I had just sold my last tooth. And now I find an old Boost mobile phone, SIM card still in it, and what pops up on the Apple Podcast feed but the damn Mean Boys. And I read Adam Todd Brown talk about the government in 2009 something or other. And anyway, thank you for
Jimbo.
But so if you're having a shitty Christmas, and I've gotten a few messages from people who are having shitty Christmases, so I thought we'd talk about our shittiest Christmas.
Let's do it, man.
Keith, you had a fun one. This ties into your mom as well. Yeah, this is another story that we got into a little bit, but here's the full version.
I'll tell the abridged version. But one year when I was living in Long Beach, I was at a laundromat a couple days before Christmas, and I found a cat in a box, a little orange kitten, and I brought it home, and it felt like a real fun Christmassy thing. My mom named it Noel. That cat turned out to be the worst cat that's ever existed. It was just relentlessly just scratching me and just shitting while it was walking. Just mobile shit. It was like it was dropping napalm on Charlie. It was a fucking situation. And I remember this culminated on Christmas. My grandma is real Martha Stewart book club, just everything's fine. Please don't make me have an opinion kind of ass woman. And she's there, and she's dealing with the
Keith,
fucking...
Your best skill is dismissively describing normal people. There's so many different flavors of normal person, and the way that the disdain that drips out of your fucking mouth when you evoke their essence is wonderful.
I resent anybody that I can figure out in 2 references and an adjective.
Yeah. Souvenir glass people.
Yeah, she's there, and fucking she's dealing with just the booze-soaked nightmare that is my house on Christmas. I'm fighting with my mom. My mom is fighting with my brothers. I get in my bed to angrily go to bed. I'm 16, and my leg just slides through a wheelbarrow full of cat shit. The cat has crawled under my blanket to take a shit. Like it was a mafia assassin leaving a message for somebody to put my cousin in the movies. This got so bad that I literally sat up covered in poop. My grandma's like, hey, calm down. And I went, fuck you, Grandma. And then she never spoke of that night again. And that culminated in my mom grabbing the cat, opening the window, and throwing the cat through the window.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Like a small football.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and frankly, that cat deserves death. I hope it landed in a pungy pit full of AIDS.
The fact that she put the spiral on the cat was impressive, but unnecessary.
Yeah, so that was mine.
No.
Yeah, Tom, you got a pretty great gift one year.
Oh,
I know I'm
yeah.
Byron Allening you, but
Yeah. No,
So, Tom, I heard. Welcome to Christmas Comics Unwrapped with Connor Rapp.
Comics Unwrapped.
Yeah, I thought this was pretty funny. Is what it's like a couple days before Christmas, and my mom's like, "Oh, where are you headed to?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get some coffee, do some writing, and I'm gonna go library, pick up this Nietzsche book." And she was just like, "Oh, which one?" And I was like, "Whatever one it was." And I go to the coffee shop, I go to the library, and they're all out of the Nietzsche books. So I was like, okay. And then on Christmas, I opened a gift my mom, and she just went to the library, got all of those Nietzsche books, wrapped them, and gifted them to me. And then I had to return them in a week. And that was a gift. But if you're looking for if you're a depressing one, is when I was younger. There was one time we're all getting ready to open up we opened one gift on Christmas Eve, and we're all sitting down, and my dad gets a phone call. He goes in another room. He comes back, and he goes, "Grandpa's dead." And I was just like...
And the same way pizza's here,
And my legit reaction is I thought they were both dead already. He goes, "What?" And it was like, "No, the third one, the one because I only met him once."
Oh, okay. Wait, for a second, I was doing the math wrong, and I was like, "Wait, does Tom have gay grandpas?"
Exactly
No. And then, so my dad's super bummed out. The next day after we do the Christmas shit, I go in the garage. He's just kind of bummed out. I'm like, "Hey, are you okay? You miss Grandpa?" I was like, "Well, I missed the chance to know him," and that was
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Prison.
Hey, but,
yeah.
But look at you now, dude.
I know. Yeah, now it's 0 grandpas. No worry. No worry on the 25th.
Yeah, but every time a grandpa dies, you absorb a little bit of their power.
Yeah. No strings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking straight up. The old ball and chain, your grandpa.
Dude, you could blow town tonight. No one's going to hit you up and be like, "Where can I mail a check for $13? No, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, you never have to taste a piece of hard candy to be polite ever again in your life.
I love hard candy.
Oh, okay, well.
You can eat it because you want it.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a depressing one for you sad boys out there.
Yeah, all right.
And girls.
Ladies. I posted a picture of this on Instagram. You can go look at it if you want because it's a funny picture. But I had a hilariously shitty Christmas in 2012. All right, it was the year I started doing stand-up.
This is the year we started hanging out.
This is the year we met. Yeah, we became friends. We kind of sort of lived together because I was dating this girl. And so, just sort of the broad strokes of this fucking thing is I start doing comedy. I suck at it, but I love it, and I basically neglect everything else in life. Before that, I'd had a very kind of goody two shoes ass, I'm just gonna do what you're supposed to do, go get your degree, and you hang out with your high school sweetheart, and you fucking do that whole thing. And I was like, I'm ready. I'll just have a normal life in the suburbs. I want to make my family. I don't want them to have to worry about me because I kind of think it might be fun to talk about my dick on stage. And then one day, I got frustrated. I just started doing it. The high school sweetheart dumped me, and I fucking went out there, and I got on stage, and I sucked, but it was exhilarating, and I poured my whole life into it and basically fucked everything up. I got into this horrible relationship with this lady that Keith knows very well.
Boy.
That I was sort of I couldn't it was one of these things where every time I tried to break up with her, she threatened to kill herself. So I'm like stuck there because I'm like, nah, I don't want this lady to die.
Yeah.
But I also would like to do anything else. But I guess
as somebody who could have gotten a cooler roommate out of it, should have maybe let that one roll.
Yeah. So fucking that's going on, and we both get this flesh-eating disease. We're covered in these like gigantic. Keith saw them, these big boils, that are just filled with pus, and they're about the size of a golf ball, but maybe not it's not sticking out of your body that much. But you'd have to basically poke it with a thumbtack and then milk all of the fucking chunky cum out of it so that you didn't rot away internally.
Yeah,
so
Connor turned into the zombies from Planet Terror.
Yeah,
Christmas.
so I was like all of November, December, I'm just doing ghetto Civil War medicine with this woman I hate in this shitty apartment in Torrance, and I'd have to go spend the night with her because if I didn't spend the night with her, she'd go insane. And I would drive back to Ross and Chino the next day. I was getting 4 hours of sleep a night. I spent I had $1,900 I saved up, making $8 an hour at a time at Ross, and I blew all of that just buying her food and spending gas to go to open mics. So I'm fucking penniless. I crashed my car. I got mono, so I was completely weak, and my throat was all infected from the mono and the MRSA. So there's fucking pussy boils in my throat. I can barely breathe. I can really not eat anything. It was yogurt and maybe applesauce, shit like that. So I'm 6'4". I weighed 160 pounds. I'm just wasting away. I crashed my car because I'm trying to drive while I basically have a fucking scarlet fever from the fucking Secret Garden flu. And I lose the job at Ross. And I have everyone's so Connor was doing so well, and then he decided he wanted to be a clown, and now he is homeless except he's white and has a nice family.
Yeah,
And there's a picture of me. It's me in the hospital bed on Christmas Eve, and I'm having steroids pumped into my body to try to reopen my neck so I can get air in there to eat more applesauce and shit grainy.
Open the sauce tube.
Yeah, shit grainy bloody shits, and wheeze my way through another hellish 24 hours.
Yeah,
and I like that pit. I look at it all the time because. Life can change and can get better, and it can improve, and you meet new people, and you take on new enterprises, and you figure out what works for you and what doesn't, and how to avoid things that have happened in the past. So if you're having a terrible Christmas, I've been there, and it can all change. 6 years later, this is the first time I've been able to get my family something nice for Christmas. It always been some real shitty, the thought that counts type of thing, and finally
they have to pretend it's still charming that a 23-year-old is making popsicle stick greeting cards. I'm glad we stayed friends after that fucking that Christmas where you almost died.
I know, me and Keith almost broke up. It was dark. So anyway,
Wow.
I just wanted to talk about that because I thought, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really like to be too sincere or whatever on the show because it's boring. But I think around Christmas time that maybe it's someone that might make you feel a little better. So
yeah, man, I'm sorry you and that girl broke up. It's really sad.
I know, man. We could have had so many great Frankenstein table centerpieces at our
she would have made
wedding.
some great bonus episodes.
Here's what I love about this is that that was genuinely a pretty beautiful, sincere sentiment that you just shared. And then it's going to segue into a Death Grip song, and then my mom saying why we should build the wall.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was just thinking about that driving around. I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah,
So,
no, I'm glad you did, man.
yeah, is that it? I think that's it.
I think that's everything, man. You guys, fucking thank you.
Thanks for
an
a
amazing
wonderful year.
2018.
Yeah,
we will be back with more dumb bullshit very, very soon.
all right. And now over the holidays, wonder, will Bender remember that he said he wanted to do the podcast next year?
Make sure you tweet him about it.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, do that. That'd be good.
Yeah.
All right. Here's Keith's mom.
I probably shouldn't chew my candy, huh?
I mean, I think people will appreciate the ambiance of the candy. They're having a more authentic conversation with you.
Oh, okay.
We actually just started recording, and let's just get right into it. We're finally doing it. We're here in an RV with Keith Carey's mother. I can't believe it, guys.
This is a fifth wheel.
A fifth wheel. I've already misgendered the RV. I feel very...
Speaking of fifth wheels, Nicole Becannon is also joining us for this.
I was about to make that joke, but...
I figured.
You got it.
I've never seen somebody who looks more consistently drunk than you. While sober.
And acts. Well, I'm fidgeting with my... Okay, there we go. My sunglasses were caught in my hair, and they make everything look red, and it's pretty cool. Everything looks like death.
Well, on that note, Mom, thank you for finally doing this.
Okay, no problem.
It was funny.
It feels like you came to Keith's big swim meet, and it's like, all right, I saw your dive. Is that what you're done now?
No, that's
it was pretty great. That, I've explained to you several times what a podcast is. I tried to show you how to download it, and then as soon as we put the microphone in front of you, you're like, I don't know what that is, and are we on the internet? Right?
But that's not a real microphone.
Do we live in the computer?
That's not a real microphone.
But this is not a real microphone, right?
That microphone is the closest thing I have to a job right now.
I mean, it doesn't look like a microphone.
I don't know what that means. What, do you need to go?
No, I'm good. Somebody's at the front door.
Did you get a headache? How did you know? Did you psychically sense that?
Could somebody go answer it for me?
Yeah.
I will. Yeah, sure.
But go this way.
Man, all right.
Around through the gate.
Do you want?
Okay, so this is exactly what we wanted it to be because we're a minute in. It's already very confusing. Nicole's probably about to be murdered.
Yeah.
By some sort of roving band. I feel like she's going to look through your peephole, and it's like, why are the Joker's goons in Fresno?
It does.
Oh no, there's 3 more Toms at the door.
Okay, so here's one of the problems.
Okay.
One of them. Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's always more than one. You know that I have a restraining order against someone.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I did assume that.
Yeah. And so, so she...
You've got a neck tattoo. It comes with it. They just have you fill it out.
She really hates me.
Yeah.
But like the neck tattoo, she doesn't realize that people who have these don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. But she knows where I live now. And so...
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Man.
I want her to feel free to come here and come in my house.
Because that's when the stand your ground law really gets juicy.
Who is it?
Nobody.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, that's kind
She's
of...
on the roof.
I guess I'm kind of... They could use this against
Try and
me
talk into the
if she
microphone.
died.
Yeah, I mean, if something happens, we'll just cut that part out.
Well, I mean, all they can narrow down is there's a fifth wheel in Fresno somewhere, and I feel like there might be a lot of them. So I think you probably
It's a real I am Spartacus moment for the white trash community.
We lived in this for a while.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah,
I like it.
it's actually
nice.
pretty nice. I fucking love it.
There's a teeny tiny bathtub in the bathroom for me to take a teeny tiny bath in.
Like some sort of small bird.
This was my dream when I lived on the streets.
Yeah.
It was my dream.
Was to live on the streets,
just
but in a bigger car.
No, I didn't have a car.
No, I know. I was
if
there.
I could only get $300 together to get a broken down trailer, and I'd just park it, and then that would be it. That would be the shit.
Yeah, you find like a nice chill street with no sweeping,
Yeah.
and you just post up until the next thing comes around.
And I got this and a house.
Yeah.
I
know
would
this
totally
is-
live in this place.
I know, it's nice, right?
Yeah,
That's the thing, we can't even make fun of it. It is 1,000 times nicer than where any of us live.
Yeah.
It's got about 4 times the square footage of Tom's room.
Tom lives on the floor of our kitchen.
Yeah, the oven works,
Oh,
which
no,
is a lot
it's
more than
nice.
we've got going on.
You don't have an oven?
What's up?
You don't have an oven?
We have a decorative
You
oven.
see our broken oven out there. You could snap that door right back on.
Okay.
You can take that with you.
I mean, here's what I'm
You
not
see-
going
you
to
see-
do:
here's
is
what I
tie
like.
an oven to the back of the car like a Dukes of Hazzard safe heist.
It might make a good space heater.
I don't want to put you off, but your son's gone very SoCal, and we're all driving Priuses, so I don't think they're going to make it down the grapevine with a full oven in them.
I also like that you just said the oven could be a space heater.
You guys
That's the
all
Sylvia
agree.
Plath School of Home Decoration.
Yeah. Do you know the whole backstory about why we're doing this interview? Has Keith kind of told you about it?
I told you a little. So
Yeah, he
basically-
told me a little.
Yeah, because I mean, really where it started is when we started doing Meme Boys back in the day. It was like we mostly just do jokes and it's like written stuff. And Connor would tell stories about building model airplanes with his boring father, and then Joe
And then
would-
we needed something compelling to happen.
Well, and then,
so then
everybody-
Keith would be like, I see that, and I raise you Buca de Pepo.
Yeah. Well, yeah, everyone would tell these stories and be like, "Yeah, that reminds me of the time I was a kid and I got shot at a punk show jumping a fence." And they're like, "No, it's nothing like that." And slowly,
it's nothing like when I told you, get down and stay down on the floor of the truck. Yeah. I was like, put your head down.
Yeah, like you're trying to sneak into the drive-in, you know?
Yeah, no, we were trying to sneak out and not get shot.
yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to sneak out of the gates of hell.
And there was like a bullet hole through my jacket later, right?
Yeah.
Man, that face you just made is great because you just realized you lied to me 12 years ago. And
Sometimes
you wanted to
I don't
double down.
remember.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I
And
appreciate you leaning into it.
so, Keith starts telling these stories, and then we start, joking about, and you become kind of a character on the show, and we talk about you're like just this crazy, like Paul Bunyan life you've led.
But I'm this small.
You're so tiny, and yet I've never been more afraid of a person. You know what I'm saying? And you captured imaginations literally around the globe. I mean, we sent out like these beanies that we made, and they're going to fucking Australia and New Zealand and Germany.
Shit, yeah.
So I mean, people everywhere have been giving a shit about this. We said, well, okay, if we get 400 iTunes reviews, we'll try to go and get Keith's mom on the air. And it happened in like 3 weeks. It was like it doubled, and people just were so excited because they're fascinated by this fucking mythos around you.
Yeah,
you
to
know?
put this in perspective, we've had like people from like Oscar-nominated movies, and like Jeff Ross has been on the show. No one really cared that much when we said we were going to Fresno to interview you. The internet exploded.
Yeah.
That's because Fresno's super cool.
I don't know if that's it.
Well,
There's not a lot of Fresno aficionados, but it is so funny just seeing like weird foreign people all of a sudden get very excited, just like, why did Keith's mother marry a Nazi?
but I'm not married to him anymore.
No, I know.
No, they don't. No, yeah.
I've made
But
it
he's
very
afraid of me too.
If
And he
Nazis,
should be.
if Nazis are afraid of you, what are you, Russia? That's amazing.
Yeah, my mom is exactly as intimidating as the invasion at Normandy.
He's really scared of me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say when I went to do a show with Keith and he was like, "Oh, you're gonna meet my mom. She's gonna be there." I've never been more terrified to meet anyone in my life.
I was genuinely excited. I was jealous Nicole got to meet you before I did.
You quickly became one of my favorite people in the entire universe.
Well,
to be
yeah,
honest.
because as I've mentioned on the show before, she brought a firearm to the cheesecake factory.
And that's where I think we should start. That's a fun little intro story.
Do you want me? I should have brought it with me to the trailer.
I mean, what do you? I mean,
I have. It's so cute.
Okay.
It's really tiny. You like guns, right?
I mean, I've held them before. I am not allowed to. Yeah. Well, okay. A lot of
You're
allegedly.
not allowed to. Have you been 5150s? Is that why?
A bunch.
Yeah.
And 52, and yeah.
I didn't know they had a 52.
They made a new code?
That's a 2-week.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Hey,
Because
there
I
we
actually
go.
have
Well,
a master's
3150 is when they feed you Baskin Robbins.
50 days in a row.
6950 is when shit gets weird in the cycle.
No, 31150. That's in Orange County.
It's like, well, we ran some tests, and amber is still the color of your energy.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep working on it.
So is this stalker related? Did you think maybe she called the cheese?
Oh, no,
she knows
I
you
have
like the
before.
Cheesecake Factory. She calls all of them. See, is there a reservation for Kelly?
No, I always carry it with me.
So
She
the
just casually mentioned it as the waiter walked up to the table.
Yeah, and I've never seen a man more frantically give us bread.
Yeah, and he was like,
Here's a
well,
lot of bread. Here's my
really
wallet.
does.
Please don't hurt me.
I drink a lot of water. I like a quick refill. And
Don't worry about that tip. Yes.
Well, I just looked at you like you had placed it on the table and been like, "How's this going to go down, Gerald?" Like, I think the mac and cheese is free. What do you think? Like,
She's going to fit in perfectly on this podcast because I also remember us being at the Cheesecake Factory and then bringing us bread and you asking for more butter and your mom just immediately going,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a reason I'm able to just get called fat fucking 90 times a week for $600 a month. And
Yeah.
it's because I was really trained from a young
Oh,
age.
but I would open the fridge and then around the corner would be your hand and just grab a stick of butter.
fucking great.
Oh, just like that. But
Yeah, he was like the
fatter.
Babadook for peanut butter.
Harry Grinch Carey over here.
Yeah.
And then I would turn around and then I would close it and then you would be standing there eating the stick of butter with no pants on.
Look, I call a
don't-
stick of butter the gentleman's popsicle. Wait, when was this?
When we lived in Seattle, you didn't
Oh, when I
want
was
to wear
little,
pants. Like last week.
Well, I don't remember being nude and eating a stick of butter, but it seems like something I
My
do.
sisters did that.
Well,
but
this
they,
was
they
what-
turned out skinny.
Now, you've had, if I may say, a lot of husbands, and this was when you were married to Winnie the Pooh, so pants were frowned upon in the home. No, we had about 56 people send in questions for this, at least, and
yeah.
then that's just the ones that we've kept track of for this, and we've got some good ones. I think a fun one to start might be, could you rank your husbands?
In terms of what?
In
Worst
terms
to
of just
best.
overall best, like if you're making a Sports Illustrated, my ex-husband.
Yeah, this is the Westminster Dog Show for.
Oh, my ex-husband?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we assume your current husband's at the
current one-
top, obviously.
Yeah, I want-
Glenn seems
ties
awesome.
into the Buco de Beppo story.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
And so that's kind of interesting, sort of.
Yeah.
But
we can
maybe
start with
only
Buca
to
de
me.
Beppo.
But my ex, the best one was probably Ricky.
Okay, yeah.
Because he was the most entertaining.
That was the pro skater.
He was
Oh,
always,
yes, yeah.
And he was always trying to make like a soundproof room. Like you never knew a 2-story dog.
Nothing sketchy going there. I mean,
No.
sound. What
The
do you,
Arts and Crafts Project. Have I ever told you the best Ricky story of when he was just naked in the bathtub with the helmet?
yeah, with the helmet on.
Yeah. He was trying. He was all tweaked out, and he's just like, "I'm Evil Knievel now," and I'm like, "Well, this is a normal thing that
And
you see
things
when
really
you're
haven't
So
changed.
this was meth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's just good timey fun.
Yeah, and then when
we could have a whole subcategory: best meth husbands.
I think you weren't home when he fell off the roof.
probably not. But
There was one night. Do you remember? Okay, so this requires a little setup. Do you remember when you guys? Because around this time we were living in a trailer park, and I was like 5, 6 years old, and you guys thought it was so funny to just scare the shit out of me.
oh yeah, no, I do remember that.
Like you had a whole running
Jesus.
bit where you would pretend you were vampires and that you were going to kill me in my sleep. That was a thing.
Wasn't that fun?
You see, like,
Yeah, it was great.
Whenever someone asks me, because I'm like Keith, people think of Keith, they think of us as a unit, So whenever someone asks me, like, why does Keith do that? And I'm like, listen to any story he tells.
Wait, I
This
thought that was
episode
like
is really
a
called
fun
Keith
thing.
Justifies His Twitch.
Yeah.
And you guys
his
had
dad has
and,
a
and you had
Twitch.
the scarecrow that you put outside the window to
But
fuck.
I thought that was fun.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. You were on meth. But there was one night I remember Ricky was on the roof of the house. He was like walking around and he was like making monster noises like above my room. He was like, "Rrrr," and I knew it was him, but I was still scared because I was a little kid. And then I remember just hearing, "Brr, brr," and I look out the window and I just see. I just see him eat shit, and then he just quietly comes in and goes.
Hey,
into the other room.
I'm Bam Margera, and this is Santa Claus.
Yeah, kind of like that, but way before then.
Yeah,
Way before then, and he was so he wasn't that bad because
no, he's a fun guy.
he didn't cheat on me with guys.
Oh, okay.
Or
Whoa,
like
that happened?
girl,
Oh, we'll get to this.
I'm
one.
afraid
I
that
didn't know
my
about this
boyfriend's
part.
going to leave
with
me for a
guys
man,
or
to be
with
honest.
Let's-
I'm not sure what this fetish is called when you seek people out that are missing appendages.
Stump
Oh.
well, yeah, he didn't do that either.
Yeah, it's amputee fetish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was kind of
Yeah.
okay in general.
Yeah.
It was just that we almost killed each other. Like
Yeah.
literally with
Yeah.
a gun.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know this story.
Yeah, when I went to get Topper at the very end, he had
Topper's my middle
he
brother.
had just pants on. He had Topper's at he's in treatment right now again, but he just had pants on. He had a gun in one hand, a bottle of Kessler in the other.
Okay.
And he was like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill the baby. I'm going to kill myself. And then he threw the gun.
Holy shit!
And then he got in the truck because you got to have a truck if you live
Well,
in
and
a
that's
trailer
why you got to
park.
leave him. He doesn't
Yeah.
commit. He says he's going to do it.
No follow through that guy.
I know.
Yeah.
And then he.
And by the way, I just want to remind everyone, this is the best husband.
Yeah, and then he went and climbed in a tree, and that's where he was found several days later.
I forgot about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It went from like fucking like Charles Manson to Greenpeace protest so quickly.
Yeah, he's like, well, I'm not going to kill a kid, so instead I'll be George of the Jungle.
Yeah, so that was another thing. What were we talking about?
We were ranking ex-husbands as we went
okay.
on.
So
Yeah.
he's one. Who's two?
The second best? Well, I was married one time to someone I didn't have a kid with.
Yeah, I always forget about
And it
that
was
guy.
really weird.
'Cause it was after I was.
Well, that one you lost the receipt. There was no baby.
Wasn't there something where like you ended up like running out of a moving car through a cornfield or something?
No, he did. He jumped out of
That's
a
what it
moving
was.
car through a cornfield, and I just went home and maxed out his credit cards and moved away.
Oh, I love that.
In Washington, you can just get a divorce like that. It's 30
Wow.
days. You fill out.
If you rob somebody hard, it's like you win Monopoly in real
Yeah.
life.
Like
basically.
what Texas has with taxes, they have with divorce.
Yeah.
No, it was so easy. It was great. So, but he was horrible too. But I guess he wasn't really that bad. But
Yeah.
I didn't like him because he wore suspenders on his pants and he made me iron his shirts and like all the hangers had to go a certain way.
Oh,
man,
yeah.
Here's how I know that
that's like a very Seinfeld problem, or like a meth cornfield breakup. You know,
here's how I know that you are my mother: is that having to iron a shirt ranks as slightly worse than having a gun pulled on your infant.
Like, no, I didn't like him at all. So he was not second.
All right, so that guy's
be,
towards the bottom.
I guess it might be Brian, that Nazi.
Yeah, the Nazi.
But he's not, I don't think he's really a Nazi because he's part like Native American, and then you.
Yeah, but he's also part swastika tattoo. So I don't know.
I know, but that's so bullshit. You know.
You're just doing it to fit in. You think?
In prison.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about that in the car. I'm like,
I thought you were going to be like, I was in prison. And
I was thinking about getting a swastika tattoo.
no, I was thinking about if I was in prison, I'm a bitch, and it's like if I can't just isolate myself, I'd probably have to be a Nazi. Like that's just what you got to.
I know you got to join a race gang if you're in prison, but
you don't have to.
Well, it seems like it's a good idea though.
Yeah,
I don't want to be a Nazi, and I really don't think the black guys are going to be super thrilled about me. I'm going to see what the Asians are up to. I don't know what they do. You know, I assume they play Chinese checkers and
dude.
have secrets.
Are fucking crazy.
Well, dude,
They are, because I worked in a strip club in Little Saigon, and it was scary as fuck.
Yeah, I met a lot of
Really
reformed
scary.
Asian gangsters being Buddhists.
Oh, I believe
They're
that.
fucking nuts.
Yeah, they're really scary. They scare me more than anybody else,
Oh shit!
Yeah.
except for Mexicans.
Well, here's what's amazing. You just answered our next question.
A lot of people wanted to know what's your least favorite race.
Mexicans.
Oh my god!
There it is. Yep.
Oh, should I tell her? What
You
I
tell her-
told
What
you in the
possibly
car?
could you want to add
No,
to this?
you tell her.
Puerto Ricans too.
No, you're not the only one. Okay. No,
Oh boy!
Everybody. Okay,
No.
you got to hear
This
the story.
Okay, so for my friend's 21st birthday in college, we were going to hire a male stripper, and we called this place to get the stripper, and they had the website, and you pick out the stripper, and they had this special deal that was like $99 for a half an hour, and they were like, do you know which stripper you want? And we picked one, and they go, well, that one's not going to be $99 because black guys are premium.
Oy.
And we were like, so what can we get for the special deal for the $99? And they go, any of the Latinos.
We're talking Guatemalan, Honduran,
That is
Guam,
so
maybe.
funny.
I don't know.
That is so funny.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't like them.
Latino.
Gotcha. All right. So
And it's not.
okay, keep going.
Yeah, I don't like them. I'm pro wall. I'm pro don't want you here. I mean, it's not like I don't like tacos or anything.
let's not get ridiculous.
Holy fucking
In
shit!
fact, I'm making Mexican food tonight for dinner. But the thing is that
Yeah, they have a
come
pass?
here- Well, here's the thing: they came here they come here and they steal the black man's jobs, because all the jobs that
Whoa.
the black man, and I can say this because I have black friends, and I told
You
her
can't.
all the
I'm
time.
just gonna tell you right now.
No, because. Like all those things, like being the house cleaner and being the maid, and then what's that other thing?
Being a stripper.
Yeah, being all those things. The black
being
people used to do that. And then the Mexicans came and got them out of a job, and so now they have to be unwell.
So
No, I'll just say-
this is your opinion to be pro-black people, not anti-Mexican.
No, I'm anti-Mexican because they come here and they fly their flags.
Man,
And I don't
look at
like
Tom just desperately like, hey, there's an off-ramp over here.
No, because I don't understand. We don't write things in like Icelandic or Gaelic, but we do write them in Mexican. And I don't expect
Spanish.
to go to one of those countries and see things in English.
Well, you do, because
What?
they do write shit in English.
And
Yeah,
I
they
made
do,
my
'cause we
kids
have all the
take
money.
French in school because I wasn't going to have them speak that dirty language.
Okay, hang on.
Whoa.
So two things. Number
Okay.
one, now that we've already opened this can of worms, I should point out that yesterday I had to tell my mom 3 different times you can't call Asian people Orientals anymore during the same trip to Michael's Crafts. Just to let everyone in fucking internet town know what I'm doing. Number two, I wanted to.
Do you
learn
have any of
Spanish.
the Oriental googly eyes? I'm working on a
Well,
collage.
here's what happened. I wanted to learn Spanish so bad in high school because that seemed practical to me on account of me living in Southern California, home of
Which is in America.
right.
Which
but you
used-
know what's
used
not
to
in
be
America
Mexico.
is France.
No, but where did I take you?
France.
And so that was a good thing.
Yeah, how much French did we speak there?
None.
None.
But-
Not at all. No, most of my translating was Mama es el moyo drunko. Like that was a lot of it. Well, Mom drank a whole bottle of wine, so I guess we're not going to the Louvre today.
No, but I mean, I just
Yeah,
don't
Keith-
like
Keith
them.
only-
that was our experience in Paris. We went to Euro Disney. You got the spins. I watched that Daft Punk video.
Yeah.
Like that was really
No,
the beginning.
Keith
of the
only
end.
learned one sentence, and it was, "Can I have a baguette? I'm very cold."
Oh my God!
All right, well that'll conclude our race segment.
Filipinos, get into it.
All right, so those are your 1 and 2 husbands, and this is number 5 you're on right now.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah. But he should have been before.
He was number 1.
Yeah, we're assuming he's the best.
We had number one. Number 1 is.
No,
Look, I really hope so, because I can't get another
because
wacky text from you about a different place you got married.
No, because the other husband that was really shitty, besides the Nazi who's not really a Nazi, but he's really. But the other guy was the last one I had, and he was just a piece of shit.
That guy sucked. Yeah.
Is he below Cornfield or tied, or how do you figure?
Well, he's pretty horrible.
Yeah, well, he's the one who kicked me. I don't know if I've ever told this story on the show before. So when I was living with my mom, I was like,
"Oh, you hate him too? That's right, you did."
Oh, I hated him forever. But yeah, I lived with you guys for a little bit, and I was like 19, and I needed to move out. I was being a slob. I was just taking up space on the couch. I get that. But he decided
because he didn't have his own room, because why would he?
But yeah, no,
ever.
I was good enough for 18 years.
7.
Why start now? Yeah.
You did have your own room.
I had my own room for a little bit.
And then when you moved out...
Yeah, like I had my own room sometimes, and then sometimes I lived in a closet. Like we really went all over the place. We're going to level out at not great. As far as the overall... If we're just checking the overall air quality, like on the weather report of my childhood, we're going like, poor. Like...
We're going to orange alert, and that's
like it was sunny Tuesday. Well, it rained knives the rest of the week, so I wouldn't call. I'd bring your umbrella, but no. But I remember me and him got in some fight, and he was like, "You got to move out. You're freeloading." And I was like, "You're freeloading. My mom met you at a homeless shelter, and then brought you here to a home that I lived in first." And we got in this fight. And I swear to God, and we can bleep this out, but I have to say how it happened.
Yeah.
He just looks at me and goes, "You're being a twang," and I just went, "Hey, I'm not." and then I stormed out, and I hadn't processed it. I just knew I was mad at him, and I got like a mile down the road, just walking down the street, like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to live? And then I was like, did he just call me the N-word? Why?
And then, so.
Yeah, and then it really escalated from there.
So, I really hated him, but the best part was that right before I left him, he had a heart attack.
Wow. That is perfect timing.
And then my mom quietly put a voodoo doll back in her junk drawer.
Awesome.
That's like if you ended the last song of the show and then all the lights go out in the building. That's perfect.
So awesome. And when he had the heart attack, they called me and they're like, and he died and we brought him back and we just want to let you know where he is so you can come and see him. And I was like, well, I'm at work, so no.
I like that those people who don't know the rest of the story are just like, yeah, that one call I made still fucking haunts me. That lady was just...
Yeah, you ruined someone's life.
Well,
you just turned into Ivan Drago. Just if he dies, he dies.
All right, that's the husband rankings. Do you ever catch Keith jerking off? Short Bus Murphy wants to know.
No, but it's funny that you say that, because in that same apartment that we lived in, when I went to Mexico, even though I don't like Mexicans, they do sell crack there.
Yeah.
So when I took...
You got to give it to them. They really know their way around fajitas and crack.
and fireworks. So when Ricky... the skater got in a car accident when he was on pills with Topper, and Topper's legs got burnt. We went to Mexico when Ricky was in jail, but you had to stay home, and I didn't catch you jacking off, but the neighbors did.
Oh, no!
Don't you remember?
No.
You used to tell the story.
I don't remember this at all.
That you
were... no, I didn't know, because you didn't of a different story.
A different time?
You were in Hawaii.
Oh.
This is when you were in Hawaii. So we were
not when I was buying crack.
No.
Yeah. What's the drug in Hawaii? What do they got?
Well, I didn't buy any drugs in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
You just put a macadamia in a crack stack.
I didn't buy any drugs in Hawaii, but I've never caught Keith doing any of that.
No, yeah. So here's this story. So it was like a second-story apartment in Buena Park, and they were gone, and it was just primetime Jack time. Like, I was going for it. Like that, and you've talked about this on stage before with one of your stories, but like that sprawled out, just full naked. Like I'm gonna explore my dumb 19-year-old body.
Home Alone jack off.
Yeah, and I'm jerking off, and I just hear like weird muttering outside, and I'm like, that's weird. And then all of a sudden I realized, wait, what happened? And I look over. We had floor-to-ceiling windows in this apartment. The curtains were open for the first time, like, ever. Oh. And I look, and there's not a person across the way. There's a family dinner. And they're just looking at me, and I go, fucking Beretta! And I just roll onto the ground. I army crawl to close the blinds. I hear somebody go, thank you!
Damn, they got to see fucking Cirque du Soleil for free.
Yeah, man. And I'm not being disgusted. They could see me crawling around, leaving a trail on the carpet.
Absolutely, yeah.
That was such a dirty, nasty apartment. That
it
was the worst.
gross.
That's where they came to kill that guy. And that's where you called the cops on me.
Have we've told the murder gloves story on the show before?
I don't.
Right?
I
don't
you
think
told it on
so.
David Taylor's podcast, famously. But,
Okay. Okay, so my mom at one point, she was dating a guy who was a different homeless guy she had brought home.
yeah.
And he was real into crack and gambling. But the relationship wasn't going well between the two of them. So she went out with Nazi stepdad to go, have a couple drinks or whatever. They come back and she is at the gate with the Nazi stepdad and this guy who is well known as a guy who murders people. That's like his deal. He's
The
like
homeless guy?
No, different guy. He's like Murder Dave or whatever.
Yeah, like what
Like
Larry
a
had.
hitman or just like...
Yeah.
Like a
Like-
white Aryan nation.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Aryan,
Gotcha.
like Aryan Brotherhood.
What Larry
enforcer.
has to mattresses, this guy has to murder.
Yeah.
You're killing me, Murder Dave.
And I'm like yelling down with you, trying to communicate. And basically, what you're intoning to me is that he's going to come upstairs and murder. What the fuck is his name?
That
Richard.
guy.
Yeah, we'll bleep names, but the crackhead.
Oh, okay.
And I see this happening. Well, I sure wish you wouldn't. And then I see like this old Mexican lady who lives in the apartment complex walking towards the gate, like she's going to have to go outside. And I'm like, lady, don't open the gate. And she's like, no, I don't know.
See, Mexicans no good.
Well, they worked out for you, lady. But she opens the gate, and I see the murder Nazi just start walking up the stairs, and he's doing the two scariest things. Number one, he's not running. He's very calmly walking, saying, I'm going to kill that guy. And number two, he is putting on black leather gloves.
Yeah.
He's putting on
That's-
fucking OJ isotone.
That is
And I'm just
haunting.
like, shit. And I got to, like, fat guy outrun a Nazi. like he's the white power boulder from Indiana Jones. I slide into I Kramer it into our apartment. I lock the door, and he's pounding on it. I have to call the cops. They're dealing with it. And the whole time, the crackhead is just like, hey, man, thanks for getting me out of that. I really appreciate it, brother. I knew you were on my side. I'm like, I don't like you either. Like, here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to clean crackhead blood off the wall, and I don't want that fucking Nazi to kill you and then be like, oh, well, the fat kid saw it, so now I got to fucking choke him out.
Yeah.
Got to take what little air he has left.
Well, I was about to say, if he's going to kill you, he's probably not going to go choking. That's like making a turkey. Choking you, it takes all day.
Did you put me on a treadmill for 8 minutes?
Yeah, dude, that is fucking terrifying. And someone wants to know, what's the biggest haul you ever made one night from a strip club? I'm kind of interested because you worked at a few different places in OC. Keith told me about the library, right?
Yeah, but I worked in Seattle. That's where
Okay.
I first worked, and that was where I made the most money.
Right.
Was
You ruined my life one day, by the way, as a kid, because that song, like every time I touch myself, that one.
Oh,
came
that-
on,
yeah.
And you were like, that was my stripper song. And I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
but you
guess
used
I don't
to
like
come
that.
with me there.
I don't remember. I
Oh,
was
he doesn't
4.
remember.
You remember the shitting in the sink, though, right?
Oh, I shit in the sink at Sugar's one time.
Oh, yeah, but that. Yeah, you shit in the sink at the place that we lived because the toilet didn't work, and I put a bag in it.
Look,
to
I've
line
shit in
it.
a lot of sinks, okay? I've lived a life.
Wow.
In fact, the sink in that one place fell off the wall. I made.
A little bit of Alabama Drano.
I just want to be clear. I didn't shit so much in a sink that it fell off the wall.
Yeah, I was about to say that would be if I didn't know about that and I just found out, that would have been like Christmas morning for me. You shit a sink off the wall. Your dumps are better than drywall, you motherfucker. That's amazing.
I made enough to pay my rent and get really drunk.
Do you want to tell the story about career day when I had to like?
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, this one is pretty
and,
great.
Well, it's really sad too because then that teacher ended up taking you home because I forgot to come and pick you up for like a really long time, and you went like on a trip with her.
Yeah, no, it was like a couple weeks. I was
Yeah, and he lived with his teacher. And
can I tell you what the only memory I have of that
What?
is like just walking around. She had like a really nice apartment and like hearing like her and her like husband or whatever like having this very concerned like, what do we do with this kid? His mom never showed up, and I'm just like, who's Michael Bolton? I just remember they had a Michael Bolton CD, and I thought he looked like a fucking dork. But anyway, career day.
Career day?
Yeah,
I thought you were going to tell the
No,
story.
no, I was telling you to tell it.
Oh, you had to write an essay.
That's what I'm talking about.
He had to write an essay, and everybody had to write essays about
This is
what
what,
their
like, third
parents
grade?
Yeah.
did for a living. And he was like, "This is a picture of my mom," and I was drawn a very large, much larger.
I was little on account of being a child and all.
Yeah, and
his fingers at that time couldn't get the fine detail, you know,
of my string bikini going up my ass, and me dancing without a top on, and she serves beer all night long. She dances all night long. I love my mom because I'd used to cruise through the house in my costumes and stuff, and he'd be like, "Oh, going to work," and I'd be like, "Yep, going to work."
I'm imagining that you're in like a stripper thing, but you also got a briefcase, you know?
full of drugs and guns.
Yeah,
and then that is what used to happen afterwards because I used to take the gun when at the end of Me and Ricky, I would take the gun in the Ford Fairlane, and then I would take the distributor cap off because he was always trying to steal my car when I'd get to the.
I did not know that
and
part.
we would do that. Yeah, that was funny.
That's a nice hustle, where you know the roommates are hiding candy from each other because they want the last piece, and you're like, let's take that distributor cap because I know when it's 4:30 rolls around, he gets real steely.
Yeah, because he was always trying to steal my car, but because it was a cool car.
Yeah.
So, but I also got a really good haul where this retarded guy. Can you say retarded?
You can on this show.
It's our word. Go for it.
I'm going to ask my Mexican friend, and then I'll get back to you.
I never.
Call him stupid.
Yeah, no. So this retarded guy gave me all his credit cards.
Whoa.
And he'd never used them. And so, I just kept going, and it was.
I think that's when I got my Sega.
It was. This was back in the day when they had, Circuit City and stuff that. And I bought everything, like a stereo, they don't have those anymore. And I bought it a stereo.
I'm just picturing the guy looking at the bill. Mom, it says I paid $9,000 at Circus City. I didn't go to the circus.
Where's the elephant?
Well, wait, he lived on his own?
Okay.
Wait, did you live with me? Where were you?
I mean, you gotta love that you have to ask.
It's 12 years ago. Do you know where your child is?
No, I met this dude. I remember
this. Because here's the thing.
I remember a T-shirt tucked into sweatpants very vividly.
Here's the thing.
That's the uniform.
He was not borderline retarded.
No, he was totally retarded, but he lived on his own in a Section 8 apartment. But then he decided that he wanted to live with us in Costa Mesa, which was really weird because he pushed a shopping cart all the way from Anaheim to Costa Mesa to my apartment, and I don't know how he knew that I lived there.
That's a long way.
Yeah, I think that's also a plot to Arrested Development, actually.
No, but that's a real thing that happened. Yeah. And he showed up, and he's like, and I'm like, hey, Mike, you can't live here at all. And he was like, I don't have anywhere to live, Kelly. And so I was like, okay, well, we have bunk beds. And so he would be the bunk bed on the top of our bunk beds when Brian wasn't in there kicking dope. And so, where were you?
I lived with you. I'm your son.
Ironically, you had to kick a dope when he showed up. So,
man, the indignity of having to kick heroin in a bunk bed. You're kicking dope, and up top, somebody's smoking oregano out of an apple for the first time.
Yeah.
That was horrible. Now that I think about it, that was probably not. And I got investigated for welfare fraud then, and everything. God, I can't believe that the county never took my kids away.
Gives me a lot less faith in the county.
But you know what? Here's the best part. The bitch who I have a restraining order again is a fucking county social worker for DCFS. And she sends me naked pictures of herself, all this bullshit, and all I want to do is fuck her life up.
Yeah.
And if I ever get really desperate, because see, I'm crazy, right?
Yeah.
5150. But see, I know not what to say because I'm also a fucking therapist. I have an MS. I have an MFT. I have a master's degree.
The call's coming from inside the house, everybody. You got to figure it out.
This is my mother, a Batman villain, everybody.
Yeah.
So the thing is if I ever go really crazy, I just can't wait.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I guess it's more of a when, right?
Yeah,
At this point, now that we've discussed 4
Not
years.
hide the car and stash the gun crazy.
No, but I have a ghost gun.
Oh, the ones you get off the 3D print them.
No, we make them.
Oh, you make them.
What?
You get the plans for them, and then you make them at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm aware of these. Yeah.
But they're not illegal.
They're not.
First
no.
of all, I bet they are. Second of all,
they're not.
Are you starting a cult? What are you doing?
Have you ever known your mother to be ignorant of the law? I mean,
no.
Come on.
No, but what would be really great is if shit goes down, we're going to Dave's because I think that would be a good compound.
Our buddy Dave Abkarian, comedian of note, who is in no way aware of this plan.
Wait, that's the
My mom's plan is outrun the law to 8 miles down the road and displace a husky Armenian plumber-looking man.
I think we took 4 turns to get here.
I had a real, like, you can take the meth out of the lady, but you can't take the lady out of the meth. You know what I mean? Like, kind of situation, because our buddy Dave lives on, like, this compound full of, like,
God,
old,
so awesome.
old antiques and, like, sort of,
Oh,
like...
it's great. I
like,
love
like,
it.
like cool
farm.
junk and, like, old farm equipment. And my mom was just like, can I just take this? And I was like, no. She's like, ask Dave. And I'm like, I'm not going to ask my friend if you can steal his stuff. She's like, I'm just going to take it, though. No one's watching it. I'm like, that doesn't mean it's yours, you toddler.
It's not like on display. That stuff should be in a museum.
What are you, Indiana Jones?
Yeah, for trash. You're picking up an old Schwinn
cool
Stingray covered in like
it should
rust.
be in a museum. You should be in a maximum security prison, but sometimes shit doesn't work out.
Yeah, you should be sharing a cell with the Riddler, but thankfully we're doing a podcast in an RV. Oh
This
man.
bitch that you have a restraining order against.
Yeah.
Is that the one? So I think you deleted it because I tried to find it today. But for a while, I was very obsessed with your Instagram because I thought it was very fun to watch the things that you posted. Was that the person that all those posts were about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Could you give an example of like one of the posts? Like they were.
It was all like weird, like you were talking about them outside. Weirdly specific, like threats, like as memes.
Well, I know one of them was about people with neck tattoos.
Right.
Yeah.
Just don't give a fuck. Then it was a picture of me and my AR.
I remember that photo.
Yeah.
You know, it was just that sort of thing.
That was you on the cover of the Bikini Kill Best of compilation.
Well, because the thing is that she calls me up one time. Well, she tries to call my husband. She calls me up because his ex-girlfriend. And she calls me up and she tells me what piece of shit tattoos I have.
Yeah.
And I can't believe you have a tattoo. And you have such piece of shit tattoos.
What a-
and I'm
what a
like,
weirdo.
wait a second. You have tattoos. And she's like, but not on my neck. And I'm like, wait. I wouldn't be fucking with somebody who has tattoos on their neck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, that wouldn't be like my first go-to.
Oh, you got a dolphin on your knee? You think that's hard?
Like, or
Yeah.
you know, I got a
You got
fucking...
a tattoo
What
on
is
your...
the tattoo of your neck?
This is a bear, but it's covering up another neck tattoo. And the tattoo in the back of my neck is covering up another neck tattoo. So
You got 4 tattoos on one neck.
Yeah.
in only two places.
And you weigh like 14 pounds. That's
Yes.
you don't have a lot of real estate.
You're building vertically on your neck.
No,
like it's
so
the
it's
Manhattan
weird,
of
right?
neck tattoos.
Yeah.
It's just strange, you know. So I don't know why she does that. I feel like I need to send a video that I have of her
Yeah.
to her boss and to all of the county of Los Angeles.
I mean,
What's the video?
oh yeah, tell us.
Yeah, we should know.
well, she's naked.
Yeah.
And it's
Why is
gross.
she sending these naked photos to you?
Because she hates me and she loves my husband.
And she wants you to be like, look how
accidentally
bad
sent a
I
video
am.
to
Is
my
that kind of the
friend.
idea?
And she's a fat Mexican. That's the best. That's the clincher. She's a fat Mexican, but that's not why I don't
First
like
of all, the
Mexicans.
politically correct nomenclature is gordita, and second of all, I think we may have corrected the whole "I'm not a fan of Mexicans" thing.
Yeah,
No,
I
I didn't
do
like
want to
it.
get to this one. Someone wants to know why you didn't circumcise Keith. My guess is that it cost extra. But
what?
Well, I was guessing because maybe it cost extra, and you're like, oh, fuck that. But what?
Oh no, because I had Keith so long ago it was all included. Oh no, I didn't even pay to have Keith. I just showed up and had him, and then I declared medical bankruptcy when I was 20.
So you had like some sort of like medical anchor baby, basically.
I just it was so weird too. The guy who delivered Keith. Oh, I won't tell this.
It was
No, I don't know this.
weirdly, it was a Domino's guy. I don't know.
No, it's really bad. I'm not going to say.
Okay,
this
you don't
one.
have to if you don't want to.
Well, you know. Well, no, it's really.
Is it
weird.
bad for Keith? Or
wait, no, I remember this story.
Don't tell it.
Yeah, up to you.
Oh.
Just tell the story.
Well, it was super weird because he gets down there to deliver Keith, and he's like, oh, "I remember you." Because I gave you an abortion. And I'm like, in better times, right?
Yeah. And he's like, oh, this one worked out.
Yeah. So
Wow, that's a real.
What, did you have a tattoo, or did you just go, I know those lips anywhere? Like,
I don't know how he knew, but I guess I was memorable. But
That's a real sunshine at the end of the end of the tunnel
You're nothing
story.
if not memorable. I gotta be
I
honest.
call my mom's vagina the tunnel, bro.
That's not how I meant that, but that's pretty.
so here's the thing: I didn't circumcise Keith because Well, I didn't know how to do it at that point. But
you knew what happened last time you gave that guy a baby and a knife.
Yeah, because Google, you couldn't Google that shit back then.
Did he start doing the other procedure? He's like, all right, let's just get the gas. And he's like, oh no, it's delivery. Oh, in that case, I thought it was a DiGiorno.
Yeah, damn it.
Well, they did have the vacuum. I mean, Keith did not want to come out. He was 2.5 weeks late. He was humongous. And
the dogs found a Mexican. Sorry.
And he, well, and I don't want to tell it because it's kind of sweet. I was kind of worried.
I don't want to say anything nice.
We've had too many nice things on this show.
Yeah, it's been all
toned down.
I want to read more pages out of the Turner Diaries and talk about felonies I want to commit.
I was worried about that he would die because he was really in distress, and they were like, afterwards, they're like, oh, you almost died. You guys almost died. And I'm like, thanks for not telling me while I was almost dying.
Yeah.
And I was.
Well, what were you going to do about it? Like die less?
Yeah, I was in labor for 36 hours. They pulled him out with the forceps, which are not like salad tongs. I repeat, are not like salad tongs.
Yikes.
They are like giant shovels.
Yeah, Keith would never go near a salad.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
They're not like salad tongs. And he was all squished. His head was all bloody, and he was like all gimpy on one side. And I felt like if I circumcised him, that he would die. And I didn't want him to die.
That was my Achilles dick.
Yeah.
That's an amazing reasoning. I just assumed you guys were like, I don't care.
Because your dad wasn't around or anything. Your dad was working on his business, selling the mushrooms.
Right.
Well, that's when he showed up and named him. Keith said he walked into the hospital with a skateboard and a bag of mushrooms and named him Keith Richards.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much.
So that one didn't get distorted at all. That one right down the middle.
I found this out today. He was going to be named Elliot?
Yes.
Yeah,
after Elliot Ness.
Yeah, from the Untouchables.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
That's what he was going to be named.
Do you have a fair? A lot of people want to know.
Call you Mrs. Elliot then?
You can, Missy Elliott.
Yeah.
Mrs. Elliott. You know how a mother has the same last name as their kid's first name.
Yeah.
That's not even your first name.
Shut up, Tom.
You can call me whatever you want, Tom.
Call her the Tunnel, please.
A lot of people want to know if you have a favorite like if Keith brings a girlfriend to meet you, is there a favorite embarrassing story you have about him as a kid?
You go ahead.
Which one are you talking about?
No, I just mean any of them.
No, people are curious if there's any.
I don't like to do that.
Oh, okay.
Any girl he brings home, it's like, yes, and like he might have a chance.
No, here's the thing.
And like this new one, there was no way, but I thought she seemed like the kind of gal who might want to see some pictures. So I showed some pictures of him in his overalls, but I don't want to tell anything that's going to make him not have a chance.
No, Keith has a girlfriend. He's also was blessed with a giant cock, so he's doing fine with the ladies. I don't know if you knew that or not, but
if you could give me the doctor,
you could have cut a lot more than the tip off, and you'd be fine.
Yeah, you could have taken the head, and your boy would still be in good shape. He's quite the man.
There's one good embarrassing story about me here, though. People want. This is what we do here.
It's really.
I don't know.
If you can't think of one, we can come back to it.
I don't know. I guess I can't think.
I mean, we already covered butter popsicles and jacking off in front of the neighbor.
Butter. I mean, one time we were in a restaurant, and I look over at him, and he's eating a gravy with a spoon, like soup, out of a bowl.
There are a lot of food-related ones. I did a lot of fat shit.
Did he ever get into anything besides food? Like, did he dress up as like a Ninja Turtle at 17 or something?
I wore the spaceman outfit.
Oh, yeah, you used to wear the General Boy outfit all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
what
was...
is the General Boy? That sounds like a terrible cleaning supply.
Well, apparently...
What'd you use for this bathroom? General Boy? It's fucking...
There's species everywhere.
The 99-cent store's third greatest cleaning product.
You know what? That's funny, because we were at Chicken's house, at Chicken's pool, and they were skating, which is a kind of a famous pool if you're a skater. But
is that the one from the Circle Jerks cover, the Group Sex cover?
Well, it's actually the one from the Johnny Knoxville video that they filmed there with the Smut Peddlers that my son is in. My other son, the drug addict. It fucks shit up. But you were there. It was before he was born, and you were wearing that outfit, and you got poo on your hand. And they were
How?
And you came out, and you were like, I have poo finger. And they were like, let us help you. And
I forgot about poo finger.
And you were like, no, don't worry. I know what to do. Because you'd had it before.
Yeah.
You had it a lot. Because pooing in the sink can be messy.
Right, yeah. I had to poo a lot of... Look, I had to take a lot of unorthodox dumps as a child.
I don't understand the problem, though. You're right by the sink. There's no way.
I was a little kid, man. I felt like I needed to declare the problem.
Yeah, you don't know.
Short.
Yeah, you don't want to mess it up.
He couldn't do that.
His arms were too short to
wipe
wash his
his
hands.
ass was too juicy and his arms were too short. It was like watching Brad Williams try to jack off. He's a midget friend of ours.
Little fella.
Yeah, kind of related to the concert thing. You saw some pretty crazy. What's up, Glenn?
The good husband.
Yeah, the good husband has made a brief guest appearance.
Bye, honey.
And now he's off to go lead a gang of marauders in the Walking Dead universe.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
That's the look.
he's a
Went to
sweetheart.
a meeting. We're sober.
I know, and I just want to say sincerely, congratulations. That's awesome.
Although I do want to double check based on what we talked about earlier. When you say meeting, do you mean rally?
Have you seen any great concert? Like a lot of people want to know. Did you ever run into Kurt Cobain up in Seattle? What's your favorite old punk show you got to go to? Because we're big punk fans. Some of our fans are big punk fans. So, is there anyone that sticks out? Funk pants.
What, pray tell,
Funk pants. I was cooking at George Benson's house.
Yeah, funk. It's those weird Bad Brains albums
I
at the end.
can't really. It's really hard to tell.
It was punny. It was funny because you bought me tickets to go see the Misfits last year for that big reunion tour, and I remember you just being like, "Yeah, last time I bought tickets to see the Misfits, they were like $8, and I bought them from the same guy I bought Speed from."
It's really funny to me because even by the time I moved to California and everybody was still listening to the Misfits, like that was like old for me. Like I was over that. I never ran into Kurt Cobain, but I did. Andrew Wood, I knew, and he died right around the corner from Mother Love Bone.
Oh, okay.
And then the people, like all the people that came through those groups and became Pearl. I saw Pearl Jam at a little club.
Well, you told me you met El Duce, the guy who probably killed Kurt Cobain.
I didn't meet El Duce. El Duce was friends with your dad and your dad and the Refusers.
Yeah.
And so he would, whenever they were in town, if you don't know who El Duce is.
Oh, no, I know. I've seen many documentaries.
Tom's a huge Nirvana fan.
I love Nirvana, yeah.
Oh, okay. From the
you look so disappointed.
Okay, but he would come over and hang out at our house. Oh, and Gigi Allen. And then he died.
Yeah.
So I don't have a very good effect
He had poop finger more than a few times too.
I got poo the rest of it.
But that's how I met Ricky. Because Gigi Allen was going to be there at the record store where they used to babysit you.
Yeah, at Underdog.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Well,
I had a pretty cool childhood when it wasn't terrifying.
See, it was like half and half.
Yeah.
It was balanced. I'm almost a Buddhist too.
Yeah.
It's one of these things.
Join us, yeah.
I also have a certificate in yoga teaching.
Oh,
If you
okay.
want to know, I can teach
Yeah,
you
well,
yoga.
you got like a master's in like therapy or whatever. Then you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna learn how to do yoga. And I was like, you've never done yoga in your life.
Well, it's like you're like one of a business in like a Korean strip mall where it's like acupuncture, yoga, and dry cleaning.
Yeah, water and
it's just a lot of
pager
different
repair.
operations.
She's the K bakery of self help.
My buddy Ryan wanted to know how you picked your major in college. What made you want to go into therapy?
Oh, what made me want to go? I don't know. I don't know. I have like a degree in business.
You have a lot of degrees.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm old. And
I'm not even that old.
And you're really not, and you study quick on meth. People forget. It's like if you got to learn French in a week.
Totally. Like when I went to get my master's, I'm like, how long does it take? They're like, it takes like 3 years, maybe a little more sometimes. And I go, how short can it take? And they go, well, we don't recommend it, especially if you're working full time, but you can do it in 2 years. And I go, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And I did it in 18 months.
Holy shit.
Wow.
And I wrote my thesis.
That was like as long as you were in labor with Keith.
Guns. Yeah. Yeah.
You in a car where you were shooting guns?
Yeah, we were shooting guns. I just brought it with in the desert.
You write like Hunter S. Thompson. You got to get in the zone,
Yeah.
You wrote a thesis the way most people write a manifesto.
Yeah. Oh, I wrote that too. But yeah,
was the thesis about federal buildings? What was the thesis about?
No, but I was on federal probation too because I did have a federal charge. But
wait, what did you federal charge for?
Getting arrested at the VA.
Oh, the vagina.
The Veterans Administration. Who,
Of
funny
vaginas.
story, then ended up paying my salary later on. Weird, right?
What, that is some
And he
weird
works
fucking
for the VA,
full circle
so-
What did
shit.
you arrested at the VA for? Can you talk about it?
Being unloaded and crazy at the VA.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's like a federal building, so it's
yeah.
the
Did
charges
you know
go
that
up.
You can't get in trouble at like a national park or anything like that because if you do, then you go on federal probation.
Holy shit.
Oh, a buddy of mine had poop finger at Yellowstone, and it got way out of hand.
Yeah, that's why they named Mount Poop Finger.
Yeah.
But I went into psychology because I kept hanging out with homeless people. I think that was it. I didn't really want to, and then I wanted to leave that motherfucker that last one that I was married to, so that's why I got my master's. I was like, if I get my master's, they'll give me a promotion at work. And
you wanted to kind of glow up and be like, I'm done with this. Let's fucking move on in life, kind of thing. Yeah.
So I left, and
you did work in recovery with people. Was that like? Were you into that? Was that like? Do you feel like that was rewarding or?
I got like an Apple computer. And I got one of the big. I had my own laptop. Yeah, it was awesome. I didn't have a phone bill for 2 years. Like all this
I feel like
stuff.
this is less than the motivational speech some people might have been asking.
Was it rewarding? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm kidding.
Did a lot of people die? Yeah. Did some of my clients do suicide by cop? Sure.
Well, me and Cops didn't show it.
You see, this is
hang on, never mind.
You totally see where Keith gets his fucking, or we all get our sense of humor because that's the kind of shit we laugh at, and people get mad at us, and it's like it didn't happen in a vacuum, dude. Like you're just fucking around.
And then I made Scottish go with me to one person's funeral, and we got there really early because it was kind of a shitty funeral because I thought it was going to
no snacks. I mean, do we want to remember this guy positively?
There were no snacks.
No gimme bag.
I was just talking about how I need Don Carlos to come to my funeral.
Yeah.
They said 10 o'clock, and I thought 10:15 we'll be out of there. And it was like 10 o'clock, and at noon it started. And so we had to sit through this grieving and blah, 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 blah.
I know.
And everybody just going up and looking at her and blah, blah, blah. And somebody who hung themselves is not a pretty thing. Because apparently when you do that, like with a rope and not like this weird thing like Kate Spade did around the door or whatever, when you like do it like and you're off the ground, apparently your hands like go up here, and they just naturally, it's like a reflex.
Yeah.
And then you rip all your fucking nails off, like trying to, it's gross.
Claw it off.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Oh my god, yeah, that's fucking brutal.
Well, did they give her gloves?
No, it was creepy.
Was it at least funny that the dead guy looked bored? Like, come on, I'm trying to choke myself listening to this shit, Karen. Come on.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Well, on a lighter note, what's the most comfortable motorcycle to ride bitch on? I mean, I feel like you might have some opinions.
Our 2017 Road Glide, I guess, because it's got the Milwaukee 8 in it.
Damn, Road Glide, that sounds nice.
Do you want to get on it? We have a whole bunch.
I'm probably all right.
I'd love to. Are you kidding?
Ride a bike?
No, but I've always wanted to.
Oh, you should come to the desert with us next time we go shooting.
Oh, I'm super down.
Yeah,
and because we have motorbikes and stuff. We have dirt bikes, and you can learn on a dirt bike. And we have this little.
I've been on dirt bikes. I've ridden dirt bikes.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
except for that one's really big. It's really big, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glenn is really strong.
Now, this is another thing. This is other pretty fun.
Oh, no. I'm inexperienced.
Topic I want to bring up is Keith's told me about some of the home improvement shit you're doing in the drug days and like the tree houses and everything. Is there any of those that stand out that those are your favorite? Like when you just built the classroom in that one room for no reason?
Well, the one thing that really stands out is when we were trying to build the soundproof room.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we would go pick up trash.
Right.
And
it's for the black gloves guy to use.
Yeah, we wanted the soundproof room so that we could have a band and it could play in there.
Yeah, I remember this plan.
And it was so weird because we were putting like, and it's weird because there was like dog poop involved in this. Oh, because we would put the dogs in there sometimes.
Yeah.
And they would poop, and then he would just put it in the walls. Like
he was building a Adobe house of dog shit.
No, my ex-husband.
Oh, okay.
And
a lot of feces in the family.
Don't be ridiculous. An adult did that.
Yeah, I mean, a guy who was in his 30s had to.
I'm not trying to get poop fingered.
Did he have like a special spatula that he laid his poop out with? Like a trowel.
When the moon hits you.
Yeah.
I'm a rectal mason.
Yeah.
And then it just kept getting smaller and smaller. Oh, it was really funny when the Nazi pooped in the children's potty too. That was really funny.
Oh, like a training potty?
Yeah.
Fuck, a Nazi shit in a little fucking pink training potty? That rocks.
Well,
did you make a wish after?
I forgot. And this dude is giant too. He's like what, 6'5"?
Dude, that's some Hitler easy bake oven shit.
Well, I think Hitler has
No, wait, because your brother started flushing diapers down the toilet, and if you flush a diaper down the toilet, it
clog,
expands.
yeah.
Well, because they get really big.
Right.
And so he couldn't go in there. And then he handed me the toilet, and it was super, not the toilet, but the child's pot.
Yeah.
It was super heavy. And he's like, what should I do with this? And I'm like, I don't know.
Do we throw it out the window like 16th century France?
It was heavy.
The fact that it had weight to it is upsetting. Like, you're like, oh, yeah, there's some mass in
Really?
here.
Because the fact that he asked me what we should do with it was upsetting.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
And you're like, I already got to deal with this with Keith. I mean, I thought that you could figure it out.
You're like 40. Figure this out.
That's the same guy who also pissed on our Nintendo 64 the day we got it.
I know, that was horrible.
It was like we got an N64 for Christmas, and we were super excited, and we played it all night. We go to bed. At this point, I'm sharing a room with both my brothers, and I was awake when this happened. I sort of like roll over, and I see him kind of stumble in all drunk or whatever, and he just walks over to the N64, pulls his dick out, pisses all over. The next day, it's aggressively soaked in pee, and I remember him walking by and just going, "Oh, looks like it rained in here."
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, that'll work. Nowhere near a window. Had not rained. There was no window in that room. It's like, yeah, I guess it rained behind the TV. Anyway, Merry Christmas.
And it rained pee.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. To be fair, those Mario parties did get a little bit loud when he was trying to detox. So, I mean, who was really rude? Do you have a favorite tattoo? You've got a few. You don't have a ton, but you got a few, right?
Mm-hmm. I like the... no.
No, they're all your children. They're all equal.
You were going to say you like the one of our name, and then you're like, eh.
I don't really have a favorite. I actually like the ones on my neck. I like getting on my neck. If I'm going to get something, I'm going to get it like...
Yeah, you want people to see it.
It's like putting a pit bull on your body.
Why get a nice car and put it in the garage? You want that shit on the driveway.
Like I want to... I mean,
yeah, that makes sense.
I don't want like a teeny tiny, like, I don't know, semicolon, or we're not going to kill ourselves, because we might.
Yeah. Let's not commit to a tattoo.
Like semicolon, just wait. Like I'm gonna. Yeah, because
I think the correct suicide grammat is ... as for suicide.
Basically, by the time she retires, my mom is going to look like Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get teardrops.
No, I am going to get another. I don't think I'd do my face. Because it would be hard to get a job.
Here's the part of that sentence that sticks out to me. I don't think.
Well, no.
Not I won't. I don't think.
When you go to get a job and you have a tattoo on your neck and you get hired, people are like, whoa, she must really be smart.
That's fucking... I do the same shit at work. I go in looking like shit every day, and they're like, this guy's working himself to death. And I'm like, no, I just didn't shower.
Yeah.
So then I'm just going to go, fuck off.
Yeah, that's why I just always look like shit. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, exactly.
You looking like shit at the historical roast office really bought you a lot of tortured genius cred.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh man, fucking so many goddamn questions. I think we should, because a lot of people bring it up. Can we just either you or you go through the Buca de Beppo story, because Keith's told it a couple times and it's kind of a fan favorite,
but not recently. And we're gonna have a lot of new listeners, and we don't have the context
so here's
of
what we'll do. I'll
Mrs.
tell my
Elliott.
version of it, and if I'm misremembering a part of it, correct me here, or maybe tell me your
I'm not sure why I would remember it.
Well, there are literally swaths of the story that I'm not present for. So,
okay.
So here's the story as I remember it. We went to Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Me, Scottish, and you.
And Topper.
No, I don't think Topper was there. I think he was with Ricky at that point.
Oh, you're right. He was with Ricky.
Yeah, no, because that's important for the end of the story.
Right, because Ricky came.
Yeah. But we went to Universal, and we were all going to go to the park, and you were like, I'm going to go see the 40-Year-Old Virgin. You guys go to the park. You can't come because it's an R-rated movie. And my brother was little. So I'm like, okay, cool, we go.
Yeah, because I never took little kids to see R-rated movies.
Yeah, I know. The first movie I saw was Terminator 2.
Okay, so.
Yeah, but anyway. But that was your logic there. And I knew something was up, but I was like, I'm not going to fight.
I already knew she was drunk.
Yeah. I was like,
well, you're like, she is alive, so.
Yeah. You know what my genuine thought in that moment was? I can either get in a fight with my mom right now, or I can go ride Jurassic Park. Like, I have those two options, and I'm going to go see some dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So when we go to Universal Studios, we come back at, the designated meeting time when the movie was supposed to end. You're not at the movie theater. Then we look over at the Hard Rock Cafe, and you are being physically removed from the Hard Rock Cafe by a very large Samoan gentleman.
Yep, I was in trouble.
He just puts you on the doorstep in front of the big neon guitar, like Dino in the Flintstones.
Yep, that happened.
Yeah. What happened in there?
Because I went to some other place first.
And I saw a Mexican.
I freaked out.
Yeah.
No, and it's like the Queen of Diamonds for me. I
was already sad and probably already drunk and really depressed. See, that's what I used to do when I would be really depressed. I would drink.
Right.
Because drinking actually saved me from killing myself.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people addiction, it's like heroin night, something to look forward to, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, really. No,
yeah.
I mean, so what happened is I got really drunk in somewhere else, and then I went to the Hard Rock Cafe, and I was also getting really drunk. And then I left, and I didn't know that I left. And they they tackled me, and then they drug me back in,
Yeah.
and then I made a huge scene.
Okay,
and
yeah,
was
that sounds
fighting
about
with
right.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
Because I like to fight when I
Yeah,
drink.
no, I've watched
I like
you-
to fight anyhow.
I watched you execute a similar maneuver at Disney World.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait, no, dude, I remember being at
The way he describes it, I'm just picturing like a Benny Hill, like you come back with a mustache and a hat, and you're like, now can I have another vodka?
No,
no.
I remember being at Disney World, and we had to go find you and Brian, and we just knew you were, because you can't get alcohol at Disneyland, but you can get it everywhere at Disney World.
Oh yeah.
So, and we knew you guys were getting loaded, but we didn't know where. So we're standing like the central hub, like literally like figuring out like, all right, where are they? It looks like we're planning our route through the park, like it's a fun day.
Yeah.
But instead we're just like, all right, there's a bar in Tomorrowland. There's one over in your Fantasyland.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you get removed from the Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're like, we're going to Buca di Beppo. So we go
Because
to
you should top it off with some wine.
yeah, we go to Buca di Beppo. You order a bottle of wine, and there's a very nice waitress who I don't know how much you remember, but I remember very
None.
vividly because she's just like this, fresh off the bus from Iowa. Gee whiz, I'm going to make it as an actress. Nobody's told me I'm a little too fat for pictures yet. Like she has that.
Yeah.
That kind of gumption.
Oh, she's got moxie. Yeah. Basically,
You
imagine.
describe the graveyard shift at a diner in L.A. and any diner in L.A.
Oh,
Yeah, just really imagine like a Betty Boop level of wide-eyed optimism. But she's like, "Hey, howdy, y'all! Welcome to Buca di Beppo. I'm gonna get you some fettuccine al fuckface or whatever." And she gets you a bottle of wine, and she takes off for a little while. And at that point, me and Scottish are just sort of like, "All right, well, what's our pizza opportunity here?" Like we're trying to figure out what pizza we're gonna get. Then you start weeping,
I was
and we're
sad.
like, and. Look, you crying in public, not a super uncommon occurrence at that point in our lives. You know what I mean? It happened. We were kind of used to it. But this one seemed worse, and we're like, what's going on? And then right as the waitress comes back, as you are finishing a glass of wine, you just go, I'm pregnant. And then I watched the light leave that girl's eyes and her realize I'm going to move back and assistant manage an Applebee's. I watched you crush the dream of Los Angeles.
Where am I? Oh, she's laughing.
And she's just sort of, and she was there to take our order, and she heard it. She couldn't act like she didn't hear it. And she's just like, do y'all need a minute? Or the raviolis gone? And we ended up staying and getting a pizza. You were very insistent, because I was like, should we just go? And you were like, no, it's pizza. So we get the
I
pizza.
wanted to treat you.
Yeah, and that baby's got to eat. You know?
Look, it was a wonderful afternoon, and thank you for this. But
I wasn't really pregnant.
yeah.
We should say that because I know the story, but we should make it clear. That,
Yeah, she wasn't really pregnant. Well, yeah, we really want to make clear she definitely wasn't pregnant after the next part. But so at that point, we needed I was in over my head. I couldn't deal with you. You were like, too drunk to
At
walk.
this point, it was over his head.
no,
the
but
rest of the shit was fine.
But I've escorted you, like, you know, dealing with my mom drunk is like being on a shitty escort mission in a video game where it's like, why is the AI broken and it keeps trying to walk into traffic? Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It should be fine. Just hide from the gunfire yourself. But like, I remember, like, okay, I couldn't deal with this, so I called Ricky and I was like, hey. I know
My
you
ex-husband.
Yeah, he was coming to bring his kid home, and I was like, hey, can you come pick us up at Universal Studios? Shit got weird. And 20 minutes go by, he's like, hey, I'm here, but I'm at the bottom of like this big hill, and I got to pick you up there. I can't come up for some reason. So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, we'll walk down. And if you've never been to Universal Studios, it is a mile-long hill on like a full,
It's a fucking Matterhorn.
like a vertical
It's
angle.
fucking nuts. Yeah,
It's not made to be walked.
It's like
They
where a
make
vampire lives.
Yeah.
They make a
it's
shuttle bus
ridiculous.
that runs it, but it wasn't running because it was too late at that point. So we are
stay here.
escorting you in like shattering high heels down
yeah.
this hill, and then right when we get to the bottom, one of the heels gives out. You do a double somersault and then go face first into an electrical box.
That I do remember.
Like Homer falling into the gorge.
That's the part that I remember.
I think you
Yeah.
chipped a tooth that night, too.
No, I chipped my tooth at a piano bar.
That's right. I remember. There were a couple tooth-related incidents in Los
Yeah,
Angeles.
yeah.
But at that point, we pick you up. You're relatively alive. And then I get a phone call, and he's like, you know what? I'm at the top of the hill. I was wrong. We had to drag your ass back up the hill and just shove you in the back of a car like you were a Craigslist futon.
And even the police somehow were there too, and the police were like, "Do you want some help?" And they were like, the children were like, "No, we got this." And
Yeah,
the
we
police
gotta-
were like, "Okay, we're gonna let you."
we gotta
Well, look, if there's any value you instilled in us as children, it was no cops. Like,
right.
Yeah, no, you taught us self-reliance. And,
always.
We're gonna automate your voice for this so the police can't trace.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Say please and thank you, and no fucking cops.
No cops. Yeah.
But that was a pretty wacky.
Okay,
night.
weird thing though. I can go to jail now. I have a
you
jail.
could have gone to jail before.
No, I've been to jail before, but
know.
a bunch of
What?
times.
There.
No, you haven't.
But I have a pass to just go in and out to do AA there.
Okay.
With my picture on it, and they don't even search me.
Did you get that in community chest, or what?
So at what point will you be running heroin?
I mean, and it's so lackadaisical here. It's just weird.
Well, yeah, they're like, it's Fresno everywhere is a jail.
And they're like, you're not supposed to bring your phone in. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna.
Fuck, I wonder if you've met my brother.
Is he in Fresno jail?
Well, he's a correctional officer.
Oh, in Fresno jail?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I'm not going to say on the
bleep
show.
it, but-
Oh, we could tell me. You can tell me
we'll talk about
afterwards.
it off
Tell
air
me.
if you want.
Yeah, we could do it.
Squong.
Oh no, I don't know him.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I think
Yeah.
we're kind of getting towards the end here. I got a few more questions. My wife and I are getting married on September 29th. Do you have any advice for a couple of newlyweds on how to sustain a long and happy marriage, and possibly any tips to keep things hot and spicy in the bedroom?
Oh God.
Well, funny you should say that.
Keith, you can do earmuffs for this if you want, like the kid in Old School.
I was going to show you my guns, but
How does that relate to that?
Oh no, we're gonna get a photo shoot with the guns.
Well, wait. The thing is that I forgot what I was going to say. Hot and spicy in the bedroom. I can't remember.
Oh, like keeping a marriage alive.
How do you keep a marriage?
Oh, the funny thing is that the reason why I was so sad at Buco de Beppo is because Glenn broke up with me.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, you
Weird,
were. Yeah, you were like
right?
single at that point, but you were dating him, and this
Yeah.
was years ago.
This
And then
was
you circled
15
back and ended up
years
marrying
ago.
this guy.
Yeah.
And then we ended up still knowing each other, reconnecting through AA.
Yeah.
Was Glenn the good? Oh, Glenn's that guy.
Yeah,
The good one.
we're
Yeah.
in Glenn's the mobile apartment right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and so
okay.
that was, but keeping a marriage alive, so I could show you my stuff.
We probably don't need to see the stuff.
I do.
Just maybe the gist of the stuff
Well,
might be
there's
good.
like ropes around our bed, with like those hand things. Right?
Keith, we can stop this if you want.
Yeah.
And they have a spacer bar. Where you put your hands behind here.
Oh,
and you
Jesus.
pull
Oh, no
your
wonder you
legs
became
up.
a yoga teacher. Jesus.
I know, right?
She's been practicing for years.
What does it do?
I'll show you.
Okay.
I mean, I'll show you the thing. I probably won't show you how it works.
All right. Fair enough.
Oh, Nicole's gonna have a three-way with my mom.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, I guess there's that.
So get some ropes and a spacer, and you're good.
And not having children is a good idea, too.
Wow, he's right here, you know?
Well, I know, but he's a grown up. If you're going to have kids, have them be grown up.
Oh, okay, yeah. Steal him.
Yeah, give birth to a 30-year-old man.
What you're talking about, Kelly, is kidnapping.
Because honestly, it's hard to.
I like to think of it as a five-finger adoption.
Yeah. Keith told the story in the park.
Kidnapping wouldn't make it spicy. If you commit a crime together, you're...
Well, I've committed crime with people before.
Sure.
Many
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Keith, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Keith
yeah.
was in on the grift.
Yeah. A lot of people want to know what your favorite like side hustle for money was. Like,
Oh,
what?
stealing.
Yeah.
I am the best ever.
Yeah.
I believe it because
The
here's
best.
the thing: if I'm working in a store and I see you walking out with something and I think you got it, I don't want to fucking start anything with you. I see it in your eyes. I'm like, this lady knows what she's doing. She's not losing. Like,
No, but-
fuck it,
oh,
you
yeah.
got
Getting
it.
stabbed at a Ross dress for less by
Yeah,
his bride.
that is your cucumber
Yeah,
now.
but of course. No, but I lived off of that for years.
Oh, yeah.
stealing. And it was for years. It
Yeah,
was bad.
I remember. It was
I
real
stole
bad.
your whole Christmas. I mean, like I
You
stole
are the Grinch.
everything. Yeah, like
Well, a lot of people don't know if the Grinch had kids. It was actually pretty good for them.
yeah, because like I stole everything.
That's fucking hilarious. I got robbed on Christmas Eve. It might have been you.
No, but not like.
Did you ever
that.
get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for PlayStation 1? I was supposed to get that as a child. Wow, we might have met. How funny would that be if I found out you robbed me on
only,
Christmas?
It would be really
It's the
super
grift
funny.
of the Magi.
Yeah.
But it was only like big places like Target and like Nordstrom.
Air quotes around them like they're being protected for anonymity.
No, because they can't hurt from me robbing.
No. I have the same thing where I would never rob a person, but I have very little.
But
you don't rob like a mom and pop corner store. But if it's a fucking Walmart, who gives a shit?
Yeah, don't fuck people, but absolutely fuck.
No, but I had like a filing system. I would go get receipts out of the garbage. You know this one, right?
Yeah.
You guys all know this hustle.
A lot of people put lemonade in the Chipotle cup. Kelly actually put the Hope Diamond in there.
And I would also like to point out that her filing system was an old purse full of burglary confetti. Like, it was just loose receipts that you would just scramble through making cat noises until you bought.
And then I had a route that I would go on.
Do you remember the day when you made me go steal you Gas X or like don't fart pills, and then you made me return them?
Yeah.
And I was like, and this was under the auspice of I'm going to take you birthday shopping. That was the conversation we had. And instead you were like, hey, go steal the most embarrassing product and then return it somewhere.
Oh, there's more embarrassing products than that.
Not if you're a fat guy.
I don't know. She was just talking
they
about
didn't
that
work.
fuck swing in her bedroom.
They didn't work.
That.
I still fart a lot. I would have gladly stolen a fuck swing from CVS.
Well, it's a fart.
I would love to see a CVS fuck swing.
Well, Keith, it's a fart pill, not a fart vaccine. It wouldn't stop you from farting for the rest of your life.
I have a question. Do you have any? Do you have any moments that like strike you? Because you got sober, you changed your life around. Keith's doing well. I bet Scottish. I fucking love Scottish.
Scottish rocks. Yeah.
Are you?
I don't know Topper as well.
Do you have any moments of like that you're proud of, or you're proud of your kids of having, or anything?
Any moment where you're like, wow, it really kind of all came together. I feel like I have a couple of those where I'm like, hey, shit kind of is working out. Anything like that kind
I've
of
been
stick
waiting
out to
for
you?
mine.
So there's 3. Okay, good, and that's why we're on this side.
Yeah.
Okay. So you should never have 3 kids. Because you should only have 2, or you should have
4.
Right? Yeah. Okay, and you shouldn't have 1 or anything. It shouldn't be an odd number.
They got to have a buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and
if you have triplets, run a bath and see who swims the worst.
yeah,
Exactly.
So here's the thing, like
That's why you do home birth. The county doesn't need to know you killed that baby.
I know, right?
Yeah, fucking county. They're nothing but
this
trouble.
place we go and shoot and we ride bikes that's where they bury bodies. It's called Stoddard Wells. It's awesome.
Whoa.
And they have caves there, and you can just shoot, and it's free and everything. But I wish that
I got to pause here. The question was, did you ever have a moment that you were proud of your children? And the answer was, don't have children. Here's where bodies are buried.
I'm super proud of Keith.
Oh,
That's great.
Because he survived the longest.
They're children. It's not fear factor.
No, because
You
it's
kept
kind
your
of
hand
like
on the car the
Survivor.
longest, you win.
No, because he survived the longest and actually seems the most well-adjusted.
I am shocked every day at how well adjusted
Because
Keith
he like
is.
talked
No
about
offense, but
like sensible shoes yesterday and like like all this stuff. Like I am proud of Keith because he's been on his own for a long time. I'm proud of Scottish that he can live on his own. He knows how to cook. And I like Topper and wish him well.
Yeah, he's doing.
It's
the
really
thing
hard, I fucked up my kids. I'm a bad mom. I'm really bad at being a mom.
I mean, you're pretty good at it now.
Oh yeah, see, it's the older thing. I mean, I didn't know how to be a mom. I never had a kid. I was like, what? I never changed a diaper. My mom doesn't live here, and my mom sucks too. And my dad is dead.
Yeah.
So I was like, there was
Fucking deadbeat.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
No, he was a deadbeat too. Like
Yeah.
on the checks he used to send my mom, he would write blood money in the memo. Like,
That's hilarious.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, that's really nice. And then he disappears for 12 years, and then, oops, I have cancer now. I want to come and visit you. And make
Yeah, what a
messes.
piece of shit.
Yeah.
What a piece of shit that cancer-addled old man is.
No, but, like, I mean, the fact that my kids are still alive is pretty good. I mean, like, I was a good enough parent that I didn't put them in a microwave, and I didn't sell them for dope, because shit like that happens.
Oh, yeah.
I really didn't ever intend to do any bad stuff to them.
You know, I'll say this if I can. Like, you know, whatever happens, I got a best friend out of it. You know, me and Tom got a best friend out of it.
Now there's someone who in my life who tells me I'm not well adjusted. So you did a good job.
That's true.
And also,
like everyone's emotional support rock. Also, can I say that I'm crying right now, literally just because of that moment you two just had, and it made me cry?
Faggot.
I was here too.
I'll gas you up for a second. Like Keith really like fucking with what he does here and what he does in his comedy. He really makes a lot of people around the world happy.
Well,
you know, he means a lot to people.
The
and
one thing was
you're a part of that. You're a very weird part of it, but you're a part of it.
I want my kids. I always wanted my kids to do what made them happy because one of the reasons I'm so fucked up is my mom wanted me to be, well, the Mexican thing, but then I'm really fucked up because of my mom said you could be a doctor or a lawyer. And I was like, there's tons of other shit that you can do. You can be a waitress. I totally want to be a waitress. And then I was a stripper.
Waitresses make more money than me.
Yeah, so if Keith is happy doing what he's doing, that is my proudest moment.
And I will say this, too. You know, you talk about being a bad mom or whatever, and, you know, again, I'm going to go D- here, but I'm not going full out. No, because you did do, you taught me a lot of things that actually were good lessons. Like, you taught me not to take shit from anybody. You taught me how to take care of myself. You know, you also... were the funniest person I ever met. I almost said I'm famous, which is gay, but like whatever anybody knows about me is from like sort of roasty shit and that kind of like thing. I learned that from watching you. Like, you know, you taught, like, I've watched you go into so many, like, teacher-parent conferences where they have their big britches, like, well, I'm going to tell you what's what, and then you just shatter their soul in 30 seconds.
Oh, I had Keith describe to me the conversation he had with you about me not liking mac and cheese, and his description of the story broke my heart.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I told my mom Connor
wanted
wanted mac and cheese, and she's like, well, eat a fucking pizza if I cut it up for him like a baby. But no, and you know, as far as the creative stuff goes, like, there's somebody asked about this. I think I told the story before, but this thing, before I did comedy, I wanted to write movies. That was my thing. And the first thing I ever wrote was like this 30-page movie, air quotes, and it sucked. It was like a weird Tarantino ripoff thing. But I remember I printed it out because somehow I was like, well, then I'll just mail this to Hollywood and then I'll be a movie guy. And I remember you looking at it, and I was like super embarrassed because you were like, did you write this thing? And I was like, yeah, I wrote the thing. And you were like, it's actually really good. Fucking keep going. And it was so like. It felt bad how shocked I was, but that was the one thing you never told me not to do this. You never, there was one weird stretch where you were tweaked out and trying to get me to join the Air Force. But other than that...
Well, I mean, they pay for lots of stuff.
Right, but the point is I'm trying to stay out. For the most part, you never told me that what I was doing was stupid. You let me do what I wanted to do. You let me be who I wanted to be. And that actually worked out pretty fucking all right. So, don't listen to the back catalog because we've said a lot of things about you on this show.
Care.
Yeah. No, I know, but the point I'm making is I'm more making this for the audience, like that I genuinely do love you. And you did,
okay, I love you too.
You did all right by me.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah. That was beautiful. And moving to the close, we got a couple not heavy questions, but I guess big questions. A lot of people are asking if you just have any advice in life, anything you abide by, any sort of like credo that kind of like works for you.
I guess no filter. I don't have a filter.
No filter, no cops.
No Mexicans, no cops.
I really don't think. Say what you want and do
Nicole
what you
is
want.
crying.
Say what you want.
How you doing over there, Nicole?
You only live once.
Yeah. My mom's credo is YOLO.
Actually, it's not really. But I mean.
You've lived like 40 times, to be fair.
No,
So
but my husband too. He's been shot several times, so that's why he walks with a limp. But not.
Yeah, and he's got that Iron Man suit.
Yeah,
yep.
but the thing is he loves his job because he helps veterans get money. Because fuck the government, fuck the man, fuck society, fuck the safe place and all this stuff. I don't know. I just do what you want. And I really hate parents that don't encourage their kids to do that.
Me too.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Tying into it, you're talking about parenthood. We have some new parents that have messaged us. What's your advice to them? No. Well, not yet. Or maybe they have. But
Keith is expecting. We're going to surprise you.
Okay. Oh.
It's a burrito.
It's going to go in the sink later. Yeah, and any advice for people dealing with addiction? A lot of people ask that question, so I thought I'd pass that along.
Dealing with addiction?
Yeah.
They're in it and they don't want to quit, or
they're trying to figure out what they can do to get clean or how to.
Well, they can either die,
or
they can quit, and I don't really care what they do because I It's not my problem. Like, that's what I used to say when I ran a program. I'm going to go home, and I'm going to be fine. So you can quit or you can die.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. You can quit or die, because you're going to die.
I do think,
and the thing is, that's probably the healthiest way to deal with, like, being someone around people like that. Like, you can't make them your problem. You have to say, like, hey, either you're going to hit rock bottom, which is death, or you're going to turn your life around. And you can't take that on yourself. That's probably the healthiest way to deal with it.
So you're either going to die or you can get sober. But I don't encourage people to go to programs, even though I've worked with many. You should just go to, like, the 12-step program.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, and then probably the biggest question of all is who would you rather date, me or Tom?
If I wasn't married?
If you weren't married. Hypothetical, purely, no disrespect to Glenn at all.
Much younger.
Yeah, and I did wait till he left to ask this question because I wasn't sure he would get that was a hypothetical.
Tom, definitely. He seems like a real crazy fucker.
Here's what's great. A lot of the fans want me to be Keith's dad. So this, God forbid, I wish you a happy marriage, but
maybe there's a motorcycle accident and maybe I find a couple cool tax loopholes.
Something happens with that man in Iraq. I'm always
she will murder you and start cashing your Patreon checks.
I mean, you heard about what's in that bedroom. You're in over your head, buddy. She's got a whole tackle box full of shit to put in your butt, big guy.
You don't even have a wall, dude.
You have a wall. It's about 8 inches deep, and she's going to find it with one of those pink wigglers she's got in the nightstand.
Man, you're about to get fucking knuckle dusted up the tunnel, my dude.
Yeah, crazy fuck is a good description. You really nailed my essence there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Keith, you got anything else you want to?
I think that's it, man.
I think we hit about
so
everything.
Much fun.
Yeah, this was a blast.
This
is. I mean, I know it's a weird thing.
Yeah. So that we could hear like part 2.
Yeah,
And here's the thing: we've probably only scratched the surface.
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, I tried to narrow it down to what the most people wanted to hear, what I most was curious about, and it was a fucking blast, Kelly. Thank you so much for doing this.
Anytime.
And this is going to mean a lot to people. We'll send you some. I'm sure people will some nice stuff to say, so we'll send it to you.
Yeah, and if you want to join us when we tase me for 500 iTunes reviews, you're welcome to do that.
Oh yeah, you can do the tasing, the guest tasing. Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool. Recently, I've been thinking about shooting myself. Not to kill myself, but just to see what it feels like.
Yeah.
Because I got stabbed. That's why my finger doesn't bend.
Oh, your middle finger doesn't bend?
No, because I got stabbed.
That's the most punk rock shit of all time. I couldn't put it down if I tried. As a man.
Yeah, so like I was like, because whenever me and my husband are like having a discussion, I'm like, I got stabbed, and he's like, I got shot. So like I'd like to up the end, I shot myself. That's better than getting shot in a gang shooting.
You're right. Tom's crazy.
Yeah.
Question: where would you want, like, in the foot, in the arm?
I was thinking maybe my arm or my hand.
Okay.
Not the gut, because that really hurts.
Yeah.
And not the kneecap.
Yeah, we saw Reservoir Dogs. That's brutal.
No one would have ever thought the kneecap.
Are you get a tattoo or the bullet hole will be? Or?
No, well.
That would be cool. You could just highlight it. Like a sun where the hole is.
Oh, yeah.
You could say it means new horizons or something.
I'm going to get a tattoo.
Yeah, this tattoo actually comes with a wheelchair. It's great. All right. Well, I think that's going to be the show. Thank you so much.
Oh, this is great.
Thank you guys for giving a shit. We finally made it happen. And Merry Christmas. This is our Christmas day.
Yeah.
So hope you enjoy yours with you and your family, however fucked up they might be. All right.
Fuck everything. God is dead.
Shit